It's fucking sponsor time. My first sponsor on the Sesh with Sav. I really want to take a small second to thank you, Matt, from Lowrider Barbershop, for giving me the opportunity. Lowrider Barber is located at number 4, 193 to 195 Old South Road in Old Ranella. If you want a fresh cut, a nice fade, a fucking banging mullet, a nice moustache, head in there. All the staff are fucking excellent. If you want a coffee, he'll sit you down, get a nice coffee, get a nice toasted sandwich. Even if it's the right time of day, grab a beer, neck a beer. I'll put his QR code right up here, and I'll put the link to his Instagram and his Instagram name right down there for you. And the links will all be in the description of the podcast bio. I'd like to thank Matt for the opportunity. Please head down there. And for any listeners of this podcast, Matt's been gracious enough to give you 15% off your first haircut and a free coffee if you mention this ad. Say the Sesh with Sav sent you down there. And yeah, kick on my Sesh gremlins. Thanks for that, boys. We're on again.
We're doing it straight away.
Yeah, we're on. That's it.
Headphones on?
Yeah, I want to keep the conversation going, you know?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to.
No, it's good, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, mate.
This is Dunks, and thanks for this, man. This is the coolest present I've gotten so far. He brought me in a pair of fresh sunnies from his brand Staples Co.
You're welcome, mate.
Is that so what do you do there? You just ship glasses?
It's pretty simple, mate. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Just a little side hustle I have, so...
Yeah, you were saying before that you had about 27 of those, eh?
Yeah, and just none of them are no good. I'm the master of none, mate. I just fucking try everything and suck at it all pretty much. So.
Nah, that's the best way to be, though. Just if something sticks.
Learned a lot.
Yeah.
Through that shit, through the old podcasts, through music, everything, mate. So yeah,
I remember you were one of the first reasons I was like, fuck, I should just do a podcast, because I always loved listening to them. And then I was like, oh, someone from Adelaide's doing one, because they weren't big when you were doing them. No. Like, they were still pretty new and niche.
There was another... I was thinking about this on the way here, because I thought you were going to ask me something similar as to why I got started and shit like that. But, I forgot his name. I think it was Beamsy, dude in, like, martial arts scene as well. He had one at a very similar time to me. I think his might have even started before mine. But we were both going back and forth, talking about what to do, how to fucking start it and all this kind of shit. So outside of him, I couldn't really think of anyone in Adelaide at that point in time.
Yeah.
There was people doing similar shit, but like there was a community of people that I had on mine that kind of didn't have an outlet for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I listened to a shit ton of podcasts. I loved it. I thought, why not have a crack type of thing? So,
but then fucking same thing as me, you realise how much work it is, though. It's crazy.
How much work it is, how fucking much I suck at all that shit. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I had to work out all of it. I had no idea, especially on this side of things. Like, I didn't have video at the start, like I said. I just did audio. And that's all I wanted to do, because that's how I digest podcasts. Like, I just listen to audio, to be honest. It's more of a thing. You're at work, you got your headphones in, you're in your car or whatever. So that's what it always was to me. And then I soon realised I was by myself. Like, fucking everyone watches them. So I'm like, oh shit, I got to do video. And then how do I do video? How do I make the video look good? You seem to be on it from the jump though.
Yeah, but
I guess you have to be, right?
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But luckily, like, YouTube teaches you so much,
bro.
But I only started off with one camera, so it was easy. But now that I've like slowly gotten more cameras and shit, it's fucking hectic.
Well, I suck so much that I had one camera and I was okay with that. I could make that work. Once I had 2 or 3, I had to get someone to help me.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't be able to do it.
Like, but now after doing it like 1 or 2 times, though, you can get the hang of it. I already edited and finished up that Adam Jones podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
right. It's just like anything.
It's just
put the time into it. And
it's more just like, it just takes time to actually do it, because you got to sit and rewatch the whole fucking podcast with the way that I do it.
Okay.
But it'd be so much easier if you had like a young Jamie.
Yes.
Who just does it, but they don't grow them on fucking trees. You'd think.
I did have a young Jamie.
You did?
Shout out to Maze, yeah.
No way.
It's a good friend of mine helped me out because he's seen I was struggling and he knew what was up and he was happy to help. So it was a hard juggle though, but yeah, we got there. We had a fucking, like I said before, man, we had heaps of fun. I met heaps of cool people.
You did 18 months?
I reckon I did one a week for 18 months. And then sometimes I'd, whatever, you know, if I fucking if I was away for a couple of weeks, I'd get a couple of done in a week, you know, bank a few or whatever.
I reckon you got almost not stitched up, but you missed out on TikTok and short platform advertising. Like I got clips on TikTok that had 200,000+ views already.
Yeah, really?
Within like a couple of weeks of doing the podcast, because it's just such a good way to advertise things.
Yeah, I'm interested in all that stuff out, like when it was podcasts or music. Obviously, like music was a big part of my life for a long time, and I still make music, but like nowadays it's all about how you promote yourself. You know what I mean? It's hardly about the music you're making.
It's just about if you got like a good 1 minute clip.
And yeah, you're right. It wasn't. I can imagine people were doing it when I was doing my podcast, but not to the level where you almost have to do it like you are now with your captions and all that shit.
You have to, and it's so weird.
Yours look dope. Yeah,
those little captions, like the words. I don't know why. Like I don't understand why that's a thing.
But it works.
But you need to have them. And because at first I was like, I don't understand why you need to have these fucking captions like, all the time. But the difference between like a video getting 900 views and 200,000 views is little things like that.
Is the theory that people were scrolling past with no audio?
I think
and
it
then
catches them, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't have a clue, but it's so weird. It's just a weird time to fucking... The internet's just fucking weird. What do you do for work? Like, what's your actual job?
My actual job that I just left, so I'm a sales rep. I work in the electrical industry, so like in electrical wholesaling basically. So I've been doing that for like 10 or 12 years now. Yeah. So I've always been in it, on different sides of the fence and different companies and stuff. And yeah, I'm about to pack up and move to Darwin for a bit now. So yeah.
You pumped for that?
Yeah, man, fucking pumped. Change of scenery.
Is that the first time you've moved out of South Australia?
Yeah, and I think that's probably why I'm doing it, you know what I mean?
Darwin would be a nice change though. See, when I moved from South Australia to Sydney, it wasn't much different besides the people were fucking ruder and it was...
How old are you?
29.
Okay.
But I moved to Sydney for like a year and a bit and it was a jungle. Like, but the temperature's pretty much the same. Darwin's like almost a different world. Like you're going to experience like that humidity.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Crocodiles and shit.
I was up there a couple of weeks ago.
Are you going to move to the CBD?
I don't know, man. I've got a lot of shit to fucking sort out, bro. This is like one conversation.
Well, you don't have anywhere to stay yet.
Nah, I've got a lot of shit to work out. I got to fucking do something with my place. I got heaps of shit to sort out.
You own your place?
Exciting though, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm just, me and the missus just said, let's fucking...
Do you own your current place?
Yeah.
Oh, are you going to rent it or sell it?
Rent it.
Rent it?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking...
My theory is 12 months. Do
just
12 months over there. If we love it, we'll stay. Or, I don't know, do some other shit. Or come back if we don't. And everyone seems happy with that. So, all the work, like, you know, the employer and the missus, me, we all seem pretty cool with that idea. So, excuse me.
That's a pretty fucking cool way to do it. You're almost treating it like a 12-month holiday break.
Gap year or something. Yeah,
How old are you?
That was my theory. 32.
That's a fucking
I think I'm 32 next
If you
week.
don't do it now, you're never going to do it.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man. Like, a lot of my mates have kids and shit now. I don't, but it's like, if there is a time, it's now.
Yeah, give it a crack.
I sound like I'm fucking moving to fucking a third world country to like, but it's just like an interstate thing. But yeah, it's a big
massive
thing. It's a big thing for me, for sure. So yeah, all exciting.
Do you have mates up there?
Nah.
Really?
Don't have mates here either, so it's about...
That's about the same?
Nah, I'm joking. I don't. Nah.
No,
a couple of jiu-jitsu gyms up there that I've trained at. So I used to go up there for work. So I'd be there every 6 weeks. And that's where I kind of like, I could fucking live like this. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of lifestyle. I could give this a shot. So
I've never been to Darwin.
It's killer.
I've always...
Give me 6 months and ask me, and I'll probably fucking hate it and want to come back to Adelaide. But for the meantime, it's killer.
I've always wanted to try. I've never that's probably the only state I've never been to besides Tasmania. I've never been to Tassie either.
I heard Tassie's lovely.
I heard Tassie's good.
I haven't been to Tassie either. I'd go to Brisbane in a heartbeat.
Sunshine Coast, bro. That's where...
I love Brizzy.
That's the only place in Australia I would move to tomorrow if my fiance wanted to.
Couldn't do Melbourne, couldn't do Sydney.
Nah, it's the Sunshine Coast. It's so nice up there.
I love Adelaide, bro.
Adelaide's nice too. It's just a small town.
Yeah.
You get frustrated with it sometimes.
Yeah, Melbourne and Sydney, that hustle and bustle city kind of.
It's
Not
too
not saying
much.
that Melbourne is like, obviously there's outskirts, so you could live very similarly to here potentially. I'm not actually sure, but I don't know. It's too much for me. Definitely too much for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, just find a couple of gyms up there to train at or something, man, and just
Mingle.
similar routine, but just a bit more relaxed and work some shit out.
Oh, you fuck it. While you don't have kids and shit, that's fucking what you need to
That's
do.
the theory. That's the theory, man.
Because you don't want to be juggling around when you got kids.
No. So that's the general theory. Get it done while we can, and we love it. We stay. We don't. We come back here or go somewhere else. We really aren't too sure, but it should be fun.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's fucking exciting. And that happens when, next week?
Nah, bro. Very fucking long story. It's not really a long story, but I'll be gone soon for a month or so. Probably come back here for Christmas.
Just to figure it out up there.
Figure it out up there, then pack up and do it properly. Probably early next year.
Yeah.
Touch wood, everything going well, but a lot of shit to work out.
Yeah, no shit.
Just one thing was brought up in a conversation, and then it just went from like an idea
Let's do it.
to reality, and fuck, we got to work shit out all within like a week. I'm like, oh god. So,
Is it cheap over there?
nah, it's fucking expensive.
Really?
Yeah. So even shit like that, like I didn't even look into that. I'm just like, I'll go there. And I'm like,
Like rent
fuck.
and shit's expensive over there?
Fuck, yeah.
I guess they got a lot of mining culture and shit there, so people got all the money over there, so they
Yeah.
can really charge whatever they
It's
want.
expensive to live, expensive to, like, groceries and shit seem to be more. It's probably more to go to the pub and have dinner.
I've heard the food's fucking really nice in Darwin, though.
Yeah, I haven't explored. I've been to like touristy type spots, I guess, but I haven't been, seen the outskirts and the ins and outs of it all yet. But food, everything I've had over there has been killer.
Like, I know because they got, like, such a weird climate over there. They got a lot of, like, produce that you can't grow here, so a lot of, like, the Asian food and all that over there is just next level compared to other parts of Australia.
Mangoes or some shit. Well.
My
missus was getting lit
because
on
it's
mangoes.
heaps tropical. Well, they don't have the exact like climate of like say Thailand or anything, but they got like a similar climate to a Thailand, so they can grow a lot of their like produce.
I think that's how people have explained the weather to me. Very similar to your Indonesian countries.
That's
as well.
what I've
Bali
heard.
or
I've
some
heard
shit.
it's fucking similar. It's got like hell high humidity.
High humidity, crazy wet seasons where it pisses down rain for weeks straight.
Isn't it wet season up there now?
It's what they call the build-up, I think.
Go ahead and into it.
If people are watching this, everything I've said is probably fucking hell wrong, but this is my interpretation of what's
This is going to
happening.
come out in a couple weeks, so you might even be back by then.
Yeah, the build-up is like the part where it doesn't fucking rain, but it's
Yeah.
still humid, and then they're waiting for the rain. Like the rain almost cools it down or some shit. So.
Yeah, we're hell spoiled in Adelaide. We got we used to. The weather's been fucked lately, but the weather in
Yeah, the weather's
Adelaide's pretty
shit.
chill.
The way that someone explained it to me was like, we put up Adelaide, I guess. You put up with winter and wet winters and shit to have a nice summer.
Yeah, pearl of
Where
summer.
Theirs is kind of like you put up with the hot, humid, fucking wet season to live in 6 months, I guess, of like 28 degrees every day. Perfect.
It's so nice. It's like Queensland weather. You go over and you hit like a stint. It's like 24, 28 degrees every single day.
It's just like anything though, man. Like I've probably been sold myself. I've been there when it's been killer weather. 28 degrees,
Yeah.
have a couple of beers. Like, I could live like this. I'll be there in the thick of it. Just like, fuck this. I made a mistake, you know what I mean? But whatever.
When it belts down over there, we'll belt down, won't it?
Hardcore.
But yeah, so when you were before you started your podcast, obviously you used to listen to like podcasts like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, your traditional ones that I've kind of gone off of now, to be honest.
I haven't watched the Joe Rogan podcast in fucking a while, actually.
It's tough for me to digest. I've gone through like waves of who I listen to. Like, so now I listen to like it's all comedian ones though. That's
Have you
why-
listened to Tim Dillon?
I like Tim Dillon. I haven't listened to his podcast. I've seen little clips and shit.
Oh, mate.
He's a funny dude, eh?
His podcast and Theo Von's, but mostly Tim Dillon's, is like that. I'll be like cackling with my AirPods in, and people will look at me like I'm a fucking maniac because some of the shit he comes out with is fucking hilarious.
The like followings of those podcasts are pretty crazy, eh? Because
They're so passionate.
Yeah, you don't meet many people like in Adelaide, especially that listen to that shit. But when you do, it's It's weird. Like, they're massive. Like, Segura's podcast. That's probably the one.
Segura's massive.
Yeah.
Like your mum's house.
Yeah. YMH, all those. And Danny Brown, who's a rapper, has got a podcast.
He's got it under their, like, label or something. That's such a weird pairing.
YMH Studios.
Tom Segura's so fucking funny. Him and his missus have, like, they do, like, pay-per-view podcasts.
I haven't done one.
They did one with Joe Rogan once, and I bought it just to see what... And it's as bad as you think, hey? The shit that
they watch gnarly videos and shit?
They watch gnarly videos, but because you're paying pay-per-view, they can
no
show
censorship or
whatever
whatever
they want.
Yeah. Nah, I can't do that shit. Fuck that. But yeah, Segura... I used to fuck with Fighter and the Kid, and now that sucks.
Nah, I haven't listened to a Brendan Schwab podcast in a while.
Now he's like the most hated man. There's heaps of... Have you seen all those YouTube videos of like...
Oh, his comedy
him
is
getting
horrible.
roasted and stuff? Yeah, it's pretty funny. So I went through a period where it was Fighter and the Kid, I guess Rogan for a bit, and like D'Elia had something, then he fucking got done for being a pedo or something. Yeah. And then I've just been... It's like all those similar kind of dudes that were around that crew of them, like popping in as guests.
Obviously,
like Mark Norman
because
and
everyone
Andrew Santino.
started off watching Joe Rogan, you'd get the guests on, and then they would get a podcast. So everyone that started off listening to Joe Rogan obviously had the exact same pattern.
Yeah,
where they started like watching his friends.
Andrew Santino is probably one of my favorite dudes.
He's funny.
Yeah,
that Andrew Schultz guy's pretty funny, but he's like pretty hectic.
Yeah, their podcast, that Flagrant.
Yeah.
You watch that? Yeah. See, that's one I do watch now.
Bert Kreischer's good.
He's too much for me.
Really? I think he's fucking hilarious. He is a bit too much and he talks a bit of shit. But
yeah, that's what I think. I think he's just I don't know if he's a character or not. That's what...
Joey Diaz is also pretty good to listen to.
Yeah, he's the man.
He is the boss.
I often just go through end up in like YouTube compilations of like...
Him just saying
the
dumb
best
shit.
of Joey Diaz while an hour on podcast type of thing. It goes for an hour and then I'm just in fucking hysterics. But
there's the one where he goes off on Alex Jones's podcast. Have you seen that?
I have.
This is fucking years ago when Alex Jones was just in a little studio.
And Rogan's next to him.
Rogan was next to him, and I think Rogan even had hair.
Yeah.
And they were like,
I think what he was talking about.
They brought Joey Diaz in, and they gave him the green light to swear because he's like, "Can I swear or can I say what I want?" And Alex Jones fucking said yeah for some reason, and he just went off on a tangent about Cuba and shit. And then what did he say at the end of it? Oh, stay black because that's the most important part. And then he fucking dropped the mic and walked out, but he's fucking so funny.
And Rogan was in tears next to him, eh?
Yeah, but back in the day when Rogan was like, I guess he kind of has like a duty almost now to speak on certain things because he's so big, so it's changed the podcast a bit.
Yeah,
but back in the day when it was like him, Joey Diaz, or like Duncan Trussell just getting fucking off their heads on mushrooms and just talking shit for hours and hours. It was just the funnest shit to listen to.
It was new back then too, you know what I mean? That was refreshing, I guess, because there was nothing like that. There was nothing where people were just in a vulnerable state or whatever, or, you know, on mushies and shit, just fucking having a ball and people can listen to it, be part of that conversation. It's kind of weird.
Earning like $200 million a year kind of changes you as a person probably a little bit too.
I can imagine, yeah. I think that's where I started listening to that Flagrant with Schultz, is when Rogan went on there. Because I'm like, I've never seen Rogan on someone else's podcast.
Yeah, that's what never goes on him.
That's what made me tune in, and then I kind of watched from there. Like, they had some really cool guests on there. So, like, Danny Brown was on there. His podcast is funny as fuck. I always see clips from his podcast. It's dope.
There's
it's
a few good Australian ones now.
He has, like, a rap section, and I've missed the last couple, so I didn't know if I got they do like these little freestyle drops, and I sent one in.
And he reacts to them.
Yeah. So he does that everything.
No shit.
I sent one in just as a, you know, shits and giggles type of thing. So
there's some good Australian podcasts too.
Yeah.
Like there's this one, I don't know the name of it, but they fucking kill it on TikTok. Like because they got this segment where people call up and they explain their workmates' nicknames.
Okay.
But some of the nicknames that they call people on like work sites and shit, but it's just funny as fuck. There's some pretty good ones. There's that Cold Ones as well. They do pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're based in Australia.
Yeah, okay.
Or New Zealand. I'm pretty sure they're Australian. But they're massive.
I appreciate like that TikTok. Like, you have to do that shit. I get
you have to now.
Yeah, that's tough though, isn't it?
I pay someone to do mine.
Yeah, good.
Like,
that's a good hustle. Actually, I couldn't do it. That's where I was going to get to. I just struggle with that shit, man.
It's 30. Oh, this bloke fucking Fiverr, dude. Did you ever know about Fiverr?
Yeah, I've sussed it out for a few things. When it comes to like website design.
Those fucking Indians and Pakistanians, they're like gurus. They charge you $30, 2-day turnaround. They got 100 jobs at a time, just grinding. And I messaged this bloke and I was like, oh, if I give you 2 clips a week.
With shit like that? Like,
Yeah.
there's dudes that specialise in...
There's Fiverr is all freelance shit for everything, but this bloke specialises in clips.
Yep.
So I like hit him up and I was like, oh, if I give you 2 clips a week, can you do me like a good price? So he's doing them for $25 each.
Nice.
But that's gaining me like subscribers and fucking view time. Like some of my podcasts are doing like 400, 500. It doesn't sound like a lot, but like for a long form podcast and a new one, they're doing like some episodes are hitting like 500 views.
Nice.
On all platforms and
Yeah,
shit,
good.
which is pretty good.
I'd rather pay someone $25 and do that shit myself as well.
Because it would take me 3 hours.
I would lose my shit as well.
And I'd wouldn't get it right.
I'd have several fucking mental breakdowns and not get it right. I still do the same shit with like the staple stuff. Like I've basically done all...
So do you design these?
I've done it all myself. The design, the physical design itself is done by a local dude, Willem. But everything outside of that I've pretty much done.
Yeah, they're fucking nice, man.
But yeah, so much... there's a fine line between fucking spending a lot of money or doing it yourself as well. So I don't know. I've taken the do-it-myself approach for the most part of it.
Even
but
doing this kind of shit's so stressful. Like I got my merch drop. I did a merch drop, and I like sold 100 jumpers or something.
Nice.
And so I went through this dude, and we'd gone through Ascolor, like like someone that does it around here. And I'd ordered them 5 months ago.
Still
and nothing. And I'm like,
Shit.
dude, they're gonna get here in the peak of summer now. Like,
that sounds hardcore though. For a local dude, especially.
And I was like, no one's gonna fucking wear them because
I remember even when I did the podcast, I did Dine With Dunks t-shirts, and like that was fucking stressful. Right?
You were sponsored by Shifty Lizard as well.
Yeah, sponsorship. I use that term loosely.
Yeah.
Friends of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool,
they
though.
were keen to help. So I had him on the podcast, and then I don't fucking know how that came about, to be honest. He's like, what if I drop a carton off to you, and every time someone's on, you drink Shifty Lizard?
That's all I'm fucking up. That's all I've been asking for. It was
perfect for me too, having a beer.
Perfect.
Yeah, bro. 100%.
But that's perfect because that's
Shout
all
out to
I've
Shifty
been.
Lizard.
I got my first sponsor, because I did a podcast with Adam Jones before this. My first sponsor was on that podcast, but I don't know how to structure sponsorships. So I'm like,
what do you mean?
Like money wise?
Yeah.
Like I didn't know what was fair yet.
Yeah.
So I just charged like X amount for like a 30-second plug.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's what I think. All this shit, like with
it's
my
just,
podcast,
it's all just
learning.
winging it.
It's all learning as well. Like I've fucked so much stuff up between the podcast, music, and staples. If you want to talk about, what I mean, like the amount of shit I've fucked up, and just go, oh, cool, that's how you do it for next time. You know what I mean? So I guess that's what it's all about. Maybe I know.
Yeah,
that's how I've fucking looked at it anyway.
Yeah, it is all about learning, but there's no rules on the internet.
No.
Like I remember my second podcast or third, one of my first 5 podcasts. I just started messaging everyone on Instagram, like random people that I wanted to talk to.
Yep.
And I messaged this bloke that I follow on YouTube, and he's got like 900,000 subscribers.
Yep.
And he's from America, and I don't know why the fuck I messaged him because I didn't even know how to do a normal podcast, let alone one on the computer.
Yep.
And he messaged me back within like 20 minutes. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do a podcast. And I was like, fuck, I don't even know how to do it on the computer yet.
That's one thing I noticed as well, hey, like, is trying to pick guests and shit. And the dudes that you just think are out of your
Some
league,
of them are lovely.
Yeah. And some dudes that I thought, almost would be the opposite. Like, I'm giving you a spotlight of some form.
Yeah,
not really, but then they're the fucking
get weird on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's one
Goes
thing.
to show everyone's, anyone's...
Like
anyone on
I'm not sure if you've watched any of my pods, but there's this one that I did with this bloke called Wayne Cleveland. He was a drug smuggler and he was a bra boy.
Okay.
And
I seen clips.
Yeah. So he lives in Maroubra in New South Wales, and I seen a video that had like 1 million or so views with him in it. That was just like a little 10-minute documentary.
Yep.
And I found him on Instagram within like 10 minutes. Inboxed him, and he's like, mate, I'm going to be down in Streaky Bay surfing in like a month. I'll drive down to your house and we'll do it.
Yeah.
It's a fucking 8-hour drive. So he's gone to Streaky Bay, surfed, came down 8 hours.
He drove 8 hours.
With his mate.
Jesus,
fucking came, did the podcast, then flew back home the next day. And I was like, and in the nicest bloke you'll ever meet in the world. But then you ask, like, say, Kevin from fucking down the road, and
Nah,
he'd
and
tell you to go fuck yourself.
Or he's got terms and conditions and
Yeah.
shit. Oh, nah, man, you're going to have to pay me or some shit. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's weird.
8-hour drive.
Yeah.
What a fucking legend. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
He was a cool dude. He did fucking 15 years. He
just wants to tell his story, I'm guessing. Is that right?
Yeah, he got sentenced 16 years. He did 10. He's been clean and sober for 16 years. He got out 3 years ago. And he used to go to, because he was a professional surfer, he used to live and fly out to LA, strap 2.5 kilo of cocaine to his body in board shorts and a singlet. And he used to walk through the airport and drop it off in the toilet in the airport, and the cleaning service would come and pick it up and give it to him. And he was doing that for like 10 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, never.
And got done?
He got done once, and that was the only time. Besides that, not even a hiccup ever.
That's a wild lifestyle, man.
And he was like, but he was like, because I was so used to that adrenaline rush in the water, because he was a big wave surfer. He's like, I had nothing to do on land, so I thought, what's the most fucking extreme thing I could do? So I was smuggling cocaine.
Just catching those cocaine waves into different countries and shit. Okay. Jesus, bro.
Hectic dude.
That's fucking hectic,
but
man.
the nicest dude you ever meet.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got a big set of fucking nuts on him too.
Big set of fucking balls. Big set of balls. So you did, like, I remember you did miles. Did you ever do Monops?
Yep.
Yeah, I recall that.
My come up, like, was within the hip hop scene type of thing. I've rapped since I was in high school type of thing. So that was the core of the podcast. Thank you. That was at the core of the podcast. Like, I know heaps of cool people, rappers, producers, and at that point in time, there wasn't really much local, especially outlets to talk shit, and drink piss, and I'm like, yeah, let's have a crack. So yeah, Monops had Trials on there.
Trials lives in fucking Queensland now, doesn't he?
I don't know, mate. I haven't spoken to him for a little while, to be honest. After the podcast, I stayed in touch with him for a little while there, and he's a busy man. He's always fucking doing something. But yeah, every Prime, like just South Australian rap. And if anyone was coming in, like
did you ever used to do Got Beefs?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was my kind of come up. I was in the first one, I think.
Really?
The first ever one, yeah.
They don't do them anymore, eh?
Nah, some weird shit went down there. Got Beef was like the league of a cappella rap battles.
For anyone who doesn't know, Got Beef was, it was like a rap battle format, so two people would go fucking toe-to-toe on rap battle, like exactly like you see in like 8 Mile.
The difference was then, though, so this is what I did, like, so we can talk about that if you want. 8 Mile was like on beat freestyle. That was the theory, right?
It had to be on beat.
Yeah, for the most part. That's what we all did. Like, that's where I knew Monops from. Like, there was local battles down this neck of the woods when we were like 15, 16, we were doing them. And dudes like Monops would have been like winning those ones, and Tailor-Made Tactics, Measure, I think was the other dude. Like, they were winning those local rap battles and stuff, and that's when we first started doing it. I think I was like 15 or 16 or something, and then it turned into those like a cappella, so no beats, and it was all pre-written stuff as well.
Yeah, right.
So you know who you're battling, and you write. You know, you got 3 1-minute rounds. Here's your opponent. Rock up on the day. It's all filmed. Comes out on YouTube. And that developed into something that's fucking massive now. Like, Drake's co-signing events in America now. People are getting paid $50,000 a battle. It's a different beast now.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video. I think it was 360 and Cursor battling once.
Yeah, that's the biggest one. I think Australia's probably
360 is not a thing anymore, is he?
Don't know.
It's like he's got like mental health kind of dramas.
I think he's got a bit going on. I'm not sure. I shouldn't say that because I don't know. But at some stages in his life, he definitely did. And whether or not he's...
Like, the drill scene in Australia has definitely taken over the rap scene. Like, Cursor and that are not irrelevant now, but like the modern day Australian rap is definitely more towards that, like, Aussie drill kind of
barbecue rap is no longer.
Yeah, like all the curses and like all the like Hilltop Hoods thing. Hilltop Hoods are still massive. They'd still sell out anywhere they go. But like that kind of Australian rap, that traditional Australian rap, is like more lost now because you got those little gangs in fucking New South Wales and shit.
It's true. I don't know what changed, man, but it's all that now.
It's because of TikTok and shit, because they make these fucking banger beats. It's the beats. They make these dope fucking beats and then they rap over it and they all look like gangsters and they're all from the area.
A lot changed in like 5 years, I guess. I guess like the last 5 years that shit's been popping. I don't know.
Fuck, what was it? What's the main ones? The 1-4 that they just came out of nowhere with one song and then it was fucking
There's one dude now called Nerve, and he seems to be like the one that's not kind of... He knows what he's doing, like, but he seems to be that kind of... It's a new school approach, but he seems to be doing it the old school way, if that makes sense. He's not just like...
He's actually rapping.
Yeah, he's not actually saying what he should be in theory, like, which is that new drill type shit. But he seems to be the one to look out for, I think, from what I can see.
It's got like nice grime feels, and I do love fucking a bit of like UK grime.
Yeah.
Like a bit of Stormzy or Skepta or something's always really nice. But
that was kind of a big influence for all this shit that's happening now, presumably, right? Was the grime things, yeah.
One thing that's dropped off so fucking hard is American rap, American hip hop.
Yeah, it's a good point. Especially that old school kind of style, like no one...
Not even the old school style, even like just...
I guess like Drake and like... I don't know, 21 Savage and all these kind of dudes, I guess, are still killing it. I don't know.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you the last Drake song, but it makes it like old school rap to me was like obviously Biggie, Tupac, Nas, fucking like all that era, 90s, early, but then you get the early 2000s rappers, which are classed as old school now, like 50 Cent, Eminem, old school Eminem, fucking Outkast. But now that you got these ones like the ones that are dead, what's the Juice WRLD?
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't fuck with it.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
The XX Temptation.
Yeah,
and
I don't
shit.
even know how to say it. XXX Tentacion or whatever. See, I actually fuck with that dude's album that he dropped, but I don't know. They're all just... It's different, man. Like,
and a lot of them are one-hit wonders. Like, do you have TikTok?
Yeah, I do, but I couldn't tell you.
Have you seen that girl?
I struggle with TikTok, man. I'll be honest.
That girl, Ice Spice?
No.
She's got like an afro, and she's got one song, but she's only got one bar in the song, and it went viral.
Okay. So she just repeats the same bar?
No. It's like a 2-minute song, because that's like a normal size song now. It's like a 2-minute song. But
short attention spans.
Like a 20 fucking second bit of it goes pretty hard.
Yeah.
And she's just gotten famous from that 20-second bit to the point where Drake flew her out to fucking Toronto to like a festival. Obviously just chopped her and
to
then
sing
fucking,
that one bar.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it's crazy. Like you can just get so famous off of just the algorithm being nice to you and just having one hard bar. Because half of it's like with YouTube and shit. You can have the best content ever. You still need the algorithm to catch you and like push you forward.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
like
fucked.
That's how I think it's kind of... It is fucked. Like, and I sound like a salty old dude if I talk about that shit too much, but yeah, it's fucking... I can't do that shit, man.
It's true though, because...
Good luck to them. I appreciate it. I'm sure they're still working hard, and you got to get lucky and you got to do the work still, but fuck, man, like...
A lot of them don't work
that's
hard.
The battle,
There's
right?
like that Tekashi 6ix9ine. He marketed himself so well that it didn't matter that he was a shit rapper.
Yeah, he fucking sucked.
He sucks, but his marketing was so good.
Some of those dudes suck, but I still like them. Like, I'm a sucker for some fucking shit rap, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a sucker for like a catchy beat and hook and like...
Yeah, I'm more of a beat
like a traditional hip-hop dude, but that's fucking whack. I'm a sucker for some of that shit, to be honest, but that Tekashi shit was whack for me, yeah.
I'm a lot more of a beat guy these days than I am. Like, if a beat goes really fucking hard, like 1-4, they got some... And Hooligan Hefts, that Hooligan Hefts...
That shit's too much for me, I can't lie.
They're basically...
That's like hardcore techno shit.
It's EDM. It's basically EDM, but I'm an EDM fan.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like... It's basically... But those beats are so fucking hard, some of them.
That's a good point, like, from...
They're branching out into different genres almost.
Yeah,
like
big time.
Like, you can't really play a 50 Cent song at a music festival, like a EDM music festival, but you can play like a Hooligan Hef song at a... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they've branched out to their own genre, so they're getting to more people.
Are producers known nowadays, though? I feel like they're not. Like,
Fuck
back
no.
in the day, it used to be... You heard a beat. If you heard a Premier beat, a Primo beat...
You'd know it.
I know a Primo beat when I... You know what I mean? Like, you can just tell that... Obviously, like, producers have their tag. You know what I mean? Like, you hear... Premiere and stuff like
Khaled.
you know, all that kind of shit. So that's obvious. But back in the day, yeah, if I heard a beat, like, oh, that's so and so, or that's so and so, and there was always like producers' credits on beat. I just don't feel like there's as much as that.
There's none.
I wouldn't know who produces all the latest hits.
I remember that I used to really fuck with that DJ Who kid.
Okay.
He used to produce a lot of the game stuff back in the day.
Yeah, right.
And I used to really like the game. He's gone a bit fucking crazy now.
Yeah.
Like
he just went through this little escapade with a battle rapper. Actually,
he also made a diss track to Eminem.
Yeah, I didn't really watch it.
I haven't listened to it yet.
M didn't respond either, did he?
That's the best way.
Yeah.
After that whole MGK fucking saga.
I'll be honest, man. I don't fuck with him. Like,
I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't either. I respect the fact that he is the best. Like,
I know what you're saying.
I will sit there and I will not say he's not the best rapper. I could not rap one of his songs word for word.
Back in the day, it's very cliche of me to say, but like that old school M was good. I enjoyed
he's
it.
the fucking best. But
so I could not tell you what he's done in the last 10 years. And if I could, if I remembered something, I wouldn't have fucking liked it.
No, he hasn't had a good album since probably Encore or
does
whatever.
That same flow.
Yeah. And it's just flexing now. He's more just like kind of flexing rather than making a good song.
Yeah, he says nothing. In my opinion, he says nothing.
No, it's
no substance. It's just
real
like
smart wordplay.
Yeah, but it's not even smart. It just happens to rhyme. Like, so half the shit he says doesn't even make sense. I swear.
See, my favorite rapper, for my favorite kind of modern-ish rapper, he's probably Hobson.
Okay.
I fucking love a bit of old school Hobson.
That's deep. I fuck with like there's so many different waves of what motherfuckers are doing now, but if there's one that I could say represents what I've always listened to and liked, I think J. Cole's probably one of my favorites.
Many people.
He represents the culture well, if that makes sense. He can fucking rap.
I've never sat down and listened to J. Cole ever, but
he's the man, bro.
I've heard so many people put him as number one on their list. Like, so many.
I haven't thought about that well. I'd probably come back with another answer potentially if you asked me if I had to think about it. But off the top of my head, J. Cole's probably one of those dudes.
I have never sat down and just... I love Kendrick as well. I think Kendrick's good.
Yeah. Kendrick, for me... Fuck. I'm saying wild shit already. J. Cole's better than Kendrick to me, but just like musically, I just like beat choices. But Kendrick's a bit too like off the cuff for me. He gets a bit weird and shit. You know what I mean?
He does. He gets a bit odd.
Yeah, he's a full musician, and I appreciate it and like all that. But like, Good Kid, Mad City was fucking hard.
I also like what I look for in a fucking really good rapper is like they got that one song where you're like, oh. Like, a lot of rappers that I love.
What's that song from Kendrick for you?
For Kendrick? Fuck, I wouldn't know about Kendrick, but I know, like, say Nas, say Immortal Technique has Dance with the Devil. That's like a fucking song. That's like a goosebump song.
That's a scary one.
That
used to scare me.
That's a song that you bump when, like, have you listened to Dance with the Devil? And someone's like, no, you're like, fuck, I want to see what, like,
I remember when we were young. When would Dance with the Devil came out? Like,
that'd be at least 98 or so. Fucking, it wouldn't be 2000s. I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I remember we stole the beat and just rapped it. Made a song.
Beat.
Yeah, it was just this is a cool beat. We didn't know the song, and then hearing the song after when I say release a song, I think those days we were just like. It was like MSN Messenger, like you'd record some shit and like send it to some people, and somehow that'd get on like a USB drive at school or some shit. You know what I mean? Excuse me, man. But we stole the beat, rapped to the beat, and then someone's like, "Oh," what? And I'm like, "Oh, I'll listen to the song." I'm like, Jesus Christ,
it's fucked.
Like I should have fucking looked into that before we started rapping. We weren't saying nothing on that either. Not talking about what he's talking about anyway. And
it's
like,
really
shit, we probably should have vetted that.
Have you? Actually, do you know what my favorite Kendrick song? Is it a Kendrick song? Fucking that song he did about Will Smith. I think it's called Will.
Really?
Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
I think that's a Kendrick song.
So old school, Good Kid, Mad City. What was after that? So Section 80, I really liked. Good Kid, Mad City was the next album. I think the next one was How to Pimp a Butterfly or something. I kind of lost interest around that point in time, to be completely honest.
I'm not thinking of Kendrick Lamar. This is the most fucking embarrassing thing ever. I'm thinking of fucking, I can't remember his
Will
name
Smith's
now.
son or whatever.
Nah. Oh my god, he's a fucking phenomenal rapper too, and Joyner Lucas.
Yeah. See, you're on some different shit. Like I feel like Hobson and Joyner Lucas
are very similar.
Yeah,
they are.
That's a different. Again, I say wave. I feel like that's a different wave. So you're obviously on that.
They can be classed as corny though sometimes too.
I have to be honest. I'm not saying Hobson. I'm not saying they're corny, Hobson. But I do struggle with that. It's like that.
Gimmicky.
I see it as like. I think they call it like backpack rap. If that makes sense, like skaters or something. I don't know. They seem to be associated with the different. I actually heard Hobson on a podcast. What the fuck was Hobson on? Maybe No Jumper or something, if you know that one.
Oh, No Jumpers are weird. It's
odd, bro.
I stumbled on, so I googled this cunt because I was like, what does he do?
Adam 22.
Yeah, because I was like, where did he come from? He's I wouldn't say he's as big as Joe Rogan and shit.
He's big.
But he has a real cult following. And I was like, he always has these, like, whores on. Like he always, or not
He's
whores.
in the porn industry.
Yeah, and then I googled him and I clicked on a video and I
Started
just
watching
seen him fucking railing someone and I was like, okay,
That
what
happens.
the
That happens.
fuck?
Yeah, he's wilding out.
He's a porn star.
Different. That's a different kind of podcast.
It's
like,
not
real
for me.
street shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
real,
not for me. He used to have on that Crip, that 4-5 Crip. He's got the tattoo on his face and he's like a meme.
Crip Mac or something.
Crip Mac. Yeah, he used to have on Crip Mac and shit, and I was like, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. And people would like lean out on his fucking podcast and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen dudes like get up and then fall through the wall and all sorts of shit, man. Yeah, they're different kind of. That's all that new rap shit. I think like he's the channel for the new. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Fuck, what was? Oh yeah. I think that's what Hobson was on, and after I heard it, I'm like, okay, I got a lot more respect for him.
He's
just
a smart dude.
I didn't know his story, and it was a dope story. I'm like, cool. I was back in the day, man. Like hip hop wise, especially myself. Like now that I'm older, I realize like I just love music. Like I listen to
same as me, dude.
I was a fucking just a young hip hop, and I used to say that's whack. It's all like whatever. Like I still don't like stuff and do like some stuff, but I realize everyone's fucking different and everything's pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like I was fuck him, he did this. Or like I felt like I was some hip hop purist back in the day.
I got a whole fucking leg sleeve dedicated to hip hop. Like my left leg is I got like 12 faces on it.
Yeah, nice.
And
I've got Gangstar tattooed across my stomach.
Shit, really? Yeah. I think what do I got? The Game. I got Hobson. I got Dizzy Wright.
Yeah, so it's a completely different scene, eh?
I got Dizzy Wright. I
Maybe
got
not the Game,
Method Man. Ice Cube, because old school Ice Cube's fucking legit.
So you like West Coast shit, obviously.
I do like. Well, I didn't fuck with like. I don't really like a lot of Snoop's old songs. I'm not into that more funk. I like
that pimp shit.
Yeah, I like that. I like that gangster rap. Like, I used to really like that gangster rap. The only person I didn't get tattooed on me that I wish I got tattooed on me because I've realised as I'm older, and this is a massive coal. Don't
worry, I've said fucking heaps of them already.
The most consistent rapper, in my opinion, who has to be in everybody's top 5 if you like rap, is 50 Cent. He is so consistent up until his last 2 albums, but all of his like Massacre, Get Rich or Die Trying. I was re-listening to him like 2 years ago, and I was like, he does not have one bad song.
50's dope,
bro. He doesn't have one bad song on those albums. They're all bangers.
He's similar age to me. So when I went to Hub High School,
another Hub boy.
Yeah.
Do you go to school with the Spaceys and that?
Yeah.
No shit.
I think Trent's a little bit older than me.
Older
and Jack's younger. But we kicked probably outside of high school.
It's a rough fucking school.
It was, especially when we were there.
Hub boys, everyone down here used to be fucking terrified of Hub boys because
it was a different fucking time, man, for sure. It was some pretty real shit, for sure. I'm not gonna say I was, I was always associated to some degree, but like I was never fucking. Anyway,
those Hub boys didn't fuck around.
It was hardcore, man. It was a fucking pretty fucking funny time. Now that I look back at it, but yeah, definitely a hardcore time. But everyone used to listen to G Unit at that point in time, like year 10 through to like everyone was just bumping G Unit. Everyone had these little boom boxes. Dude. All that shit was hard.
Tony Yayo and
Lloyd
Banks, and then the Game jumped on, and then they brought out Hate It or Love It, and that was a fucking banger,
man. And I can't hate on 50's dope. He's not in my top 5, but 50 is.
He's just so consistent.
Hits as well.
Bangers, and you put him on now and you listen to him.
It stands up, right?
Yeah, it's still just as good. It's like I was listening to a couple of Biggie's albums like a week or two ago, but some of his songs, they're still just so good.
Yeah.
My opinion, Biggie's leaps and bounds over Tupac, if you're going to have that argument.
Yeah, I had this argument with someone. It's not for me. I just like it's that poet, like storyteller versus a dude with flow, charisma, and says.
If Tupac was still alive, he would be doing movies. He would have stopped rapping, and he would have been doing movies within fucking 10 years because he was that kind of guy.
Yeah, he was like more than hip hop. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like Biggie was a fucking G, and he was just so good. His flow was so good.
That style definitely was what I was into at that point in time. Well, not that I was around for that point in time, but that during my listening of hip hop in my early days, like rapping about cool shit is what I've always liked. It's very cliche now and people fucking frown upon that, but just rapping about being cool is dope to me. And that's what the most part is. I still love that shit, man. I still absolutely love that shit. But yeah, 50's dope. 50 has bangers, 50 has hits. But as far it'd be there. He'd be up in my top 20.
That's fair. And your number one's J. Cole.
No. That's like modern era shit.
Who's your number one?
Rapper of all time? Shit, bro. Fuck. I'd struggle to answer that question. I'd be able to give you a loose top 5 off the cuff, and it's more like underrated people. Jadakiss.
Jadakiss is fucking pretty good.
Yeah, he's just a slept-on dude.
Him and Ja Rule used to have a massive beef.
Yeah, always rapping, always saying gangster shit. He's a G. I think one of the best rappers of all time is Black Thought from The Roots. Fuck, man, who else? Black Thought. Guru from Gangstar. Gangstar is like my favorite hip hop group of all time.
No shit.
Different vibe, but
you never really fuck with Wu-Tang?
Yeah, for sure, man. Method would probably be up there for me. Nas would be another one. Look, man, it's fucking...
If Nas isn't in your top 10, you've never really, like, listened to rap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Nas is one of those...
Illmatic's top 5 albums
of all time.
Yeah, if
for
not
sure.
one of my favourites, for sure. But I'd have a weird list.
I'd
Music's
put
subjective,
Eminem
man.
in there just because...
I simply couldn't.
Just because of the hate you would get.
Oh, you would or you wouldn't?
I would, just for the hate. If you were to write a list and you don't put fucking Eminem on there, it's insane.
My list would not contain Eminem. I'll give you the hot tip. And I'll happily take that flag.
Yeah, right. I've never met another person who said that besides me. I just never...
He had some bangers too, and I used to love his shit.
He has some songs that when they get played, like, but they're more even features. Like, more of his features are like... I like Purple Pills. Is one of my favourite songs, but that's more because Bizarre's in it from D12, and I fucking love Bizarre.
Really?
I love D12.
You got a wild taste in music, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's...
I got a weird taste. I got a weird taste.
It's clearly different, yeah.
I fucking love Bizarre.
Because who's Dizzy Wright and Hobson? What's that crew
They
called?
used to be called Funk Volume.
That's right.
And then they broke up after their Adelaide tour, or they toured Australia, and then they broke
come here
up.
like once every fucking 2 years.
They came out for a while, but then they broke up, and they all went solo. And Dizzy Wright was... Bone Thugs and Harmony, one of their nephews.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the nephews from Bones and Thugs.
Busy Bone and Thigh Bone or some shit.
Yeah, Dizzy Bone's nephew, I think.
Okay.
And he's like a real... He's more soulful. He's just a fucking stoner.
Yeah.
He's like more of a... But then I listen to some Snoop songs now, and I'm like, oh, they are bangers.
Yeah,
But see, I used to fuck with Ice Cube more than anyone, probably.
Okay. 2001's probably one of my favourite albums of all time too. Talk about West Coast, you know what I mean? Like, that's probably one of the biggest... I don't know, that's outside of traditionally like that style of music. I wasn't... But 2001, something about that whole album is just fucking incredible.
But lately...
Up in Smoke Tour, the old DVD and
Tour
shit.
is so good.
That? Like, that was a big part of my upbringing.
It was massive. I remember we got a VHS of the Up in Smoke Tour, and we'd fucking watch it when we were kids, and we were like, this is the coolest shit in the world.
You remember when the Skull came out and started talking and shit?
Didn't Eminem come out with a chainsaw as well and shit?
It was whatever was going on back then, man. That was hard.
And they were probably all going back and doing fucking 2 kilos of cocaine and fucking like...
They were living a wild lifestyle.
It would have been so crazy. I'm surprised no one's done like a biopic or a movie based on that.
Yeah, that's such a kind of way.
Wild tour. That Up in Smoke tour is so wild. Didn't they do it again too?
Don't know.
I don't know if they were supposed to do it again or they were trying to do it again. But
sounds like a good way to make money.
Fuck yeah.
That would sell out.
I'd pay for it.
Yeah, 100%. So there's not much I'd pay for these days, and that would be fucking one of them.
I would pay for it. But see, my taste in music's shifted, because when I was growing up, I used to really be into metal. I used to love metal.
Yeah, cool.
And when I got with my fiance, she's into like real fucking heavy, like death metal almost.
Yeah, wow.
And I started listening to it, and I'm like, do you know what? It kind of fucking bangs.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then she took me to a show. I was like, I don't really want to go. She's like, just come to this one show. And we went to this band called Architects. And we were next to the mosh pit, and these pack of fucking animals, like, just watching them just beat the shit out of each other while the music was playing. I was like, this is a bit hectic. But then you listen to the music, and it's so good live.
Really?
Like, rock music is so much better. It's one of the only musics... Like, rap music, a lot of the artists... Not a lot, that's a stupid statement, but some of the artists, you see them live and they're shit.
It's very fair.
They can't rap, obviously, because it's been so mastered they sound so different.
Yep.
And their energy's not that good. But like rock shows, for what I can see, it's 100 times better live than on the CD.
in reality as well, I guess, like, fuck, man, I'm sorry.
No, you're all good.
Like a rap show, presumably it's, you know, so let's just say Kendrick's not a good, but just like a run-of-the-mill fucking rapper, I don't know, is a rapper on stage with a DJ and they're playing a beat and he's rapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas a band, like
they're playing in unison.
It live. There's
and you
5
can
people on the
feel
stage.
The fucking drum.
There is a lot more going on. You know what I mean? Like
you can just feel everything, and everyone's so much more hyped. Like
that's why I guess as a rapper, not me, but as a rapper, I guess like the dudes that stand out sometimes like change that, like flip the live show on its head and do it with a live band, or they do just something completely out of whack or something. You know what I mean? I guess that's how you have to stand out. You know what I mean?
I went to one fucking show. I was a kid. I can't remember how old I was, but I went to Chris Brown concert.
Deep.
So fucking gay. I went to a Chris Brown concert, but he did it with Rihanna.
Yeah, I'll fuck
and
with
that
Rihanna.
Fucking, she was so good to watch live.
I can imagine. Yeah,
she can sing.
Yeah, she's hot as well.
And she was the original Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, facts.
And then Nicki Minaj was the original Cardi B.
Yeah, facts. Nah, Lil' Kim was the original.
Lil' Kim was the original of all of them.
Yeah, facts. There's probably someone before her that I don't know.
Nah, Lil' Kim was the first.
She was like
she would have had to have been the first.
Big time.
And then there was that Khaleesi.
Is that Milkshake?
Milkshake?
Oh, yeah.
She used to date Jadakiss.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
Taught me something today. Yeah, I fuck with Jada heavy, man. Real good shit.
Yeah, I fucking...
But I listen to wild shit nowadays, man. Like, I got no... If I like it, I'll listen to it, whatever. I listen to a lot of, like,
You a top 100 kind of guy?
Nah.
Easy listening?
Nah. I struggle with that shit, to be honest. I like... Hang on, what do you mean? Like Triple J, Hottest 100 type shit?
No, I'm thinking like just charts.
Nah, bro. I struggle with that. I listen to like... I wouldn't even know what you call that, eh? Like funk / almost like housey type shit, if that makes sense. Like cool, modern... I don't fucking know, bro.
Just a solid beat.
I'll be able to send you a Spotify playlist and be like, this is what I mean, but I wouldn't know how to sum it up. But just, cool background music and shit, you know, like I'm always listening to music. I'm at home, I bump something in the background while I'm doing shit and stuff, you know what I mean? I've always got music playing in the car, whatever it is.
Yeah, I've only gotten back into music the last year because for like 6 years, I was just so over music. Because, you know, when you just get in a rut and you can't find music you like?
Yeah.
I just couldn't find anything. And then I think like 6 or 7 years ago, I got into podcasts and I was like, oh, this works perfect for me because I can just put them in my ear.
Yeah.
I can put like one of my AirPods in, or I can sit down because I used to go to bed hell late. I can just put it on in the background and it'll be on for 4 hours and I can just watch a podcast or listen to a podcast. And it's kind of like soothing a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, podcast was a game changer for me too.
It's real soothing. It kind of gets rid of like if you got like a little anxiety or whatever. I don't know what it is, but they're pretty like soothing.
Yep.
And you put them on, you just fucking bang them out and they go for a while so you can listen to the whole thing. If you get a good one, you learn something. But then,
the thing I liked about all those comedy ones too is like if you listen to them religiously, like there's little inside jokes and shit, and you kind of like, it's weird. You almost feel a part of their little community.
Yeah, it's weird, but
that's a fucking weird thing to say.
That's what the best fucking podcasts do. They build a community. Like Tim Dillon when he came to Adelaide a couple months ago.
Yeah, I missed that.
I went front row, and I looked around. I was like, I can't believe this many people. He sold out the Thebby. It was packed.
Yeah. And in my mind, and I'm guessing it's what you were thinking, I thought I'd be here by myself type of thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it was weird because I watch his podcast. His podcast producer, who's Ben, who he gives heaps of shit to on the podcast.
Didn't he just sack him or something?
Yeah. He gives him heaps of shit, was there. And I actually don't know what happened with that. I haven't watched the podcast in like 3 weeks.
I've seen a little clickbaity type thing and I didn't really know.
Well, he always fires him every week.
Right.
But he hasn't been on the podcast. I noticed he wasn't on there in one of the episodes I watched, and I must have missed something. But, I like seen his podcast producer behind the curtain. I was like, oh my God, it's Ben.
Yeah, okay.
But no one would know who. He just looks like a dude.
But I guess they all know, right? Because they're probably there for the same reasons you are.
More people would know him from being a podcaster than a comedian.
Yeah. I watched his special on Netflix and I kind of struggled with it, to be completely honest. But I love him. I think it's fucking hilarious.
I'm not heaps into comedy specials,
You think that this is something, if they were to hear this, I'm sure it would offend the fuck out of them but you think they're a certain person from listening to them on a podcast and then it's kind of held different for the most part anyway, from what I've noticed.
I don't think I'm a comedy special kind of guy. Like the only comedy special I've ever cacked up laughing at was Eddie Murphy Delirious and Eddie Murphy Raw.
Yeah.
and I was a
That was
kid.
probably my first kind of introduction to it as well.
I don't think I like can sit there and someone tell joke. But then again, I went to the Tim Dillon's comedy show.
Yeah.
And I was fucking crying.
Yeah, okay.
Because he was talking about shit that was relatable. Like he was talking about, I got off the plane from Melbourne and then I came to Adelaide.
Yeah.
It's a shithole.
Yeah.
And it's like,
relatable. You're right.
It's funny, but then he does his best work on his podcast because he just goes on these fucking rants about something really fucking stupid, and he'll span it out for like 20 or 30 minutes.
Super intelligent dude too.
Yeah, heaps smart.
Very smart.
But Bert Kreischer's is coming down soon.
So Segura.
Is Segura coming?
Yeah.
No shit.
And if you want some tickets, you can probably fucking buy mine off me because I'll be gone. So
Oh, no
I bought
way.
him 6 months ago. So he's here in January, and that's when I'm probably going to be leaving. So
Is it going to be Thebby?
Thebby,
No way.
I think, mate. Yeah. And Freddie Gibbs is coming as well, and I bought tickets to that. And
Fuck.
yeah, I fucked up. But
Are you going to be coming down to visit family and shit every now and then?
Yeah, I'll try. It's fucking expensive to fly back and forth.
It's
though,
not cheap going to Darwin.
Nah, it's not like Melbourne where you can, I don't know.
Like
I don't know if it's still the
$80,
same, but
$100.
yeah, every now and then you get a fucking flight for $100, don't you? But I don't think it's like that.
Well, I just booked UFC Perth. Like
Yeah, killer.
the tickets, the
That's a
flights.
similar time as well, isn't it? Because the boys asked me if I wanted to go.
February.
Yeah.
February.
Everything fucking happened. I haven't done shit for... I haven't done fuck all in so long. Like, I guess COVID, and then people didn't want to come. But it seems like everyone's starting to come back now and tour. And
That might be worth fucking going to Perth. I don't know what flights are from Perth to Darwin, but fuck, that's going to be such a good card.
yeah, it's going to be a very good
It
card.
would have already passed by the time this comes out. And I reckon Israel Adesanya's going to get knocked out.
Oh, hang on. What are we talking about?
UFC in Perth.
No, that's fucking 8. That's in February.
Yeah, in February.
Who's he getting knocked out by?
Oh my god, I'm thinking. Oh my god,
You're tripping. So
I'm
that's
tripping. That's this weekend. I'm saying the podcast. I got my days.
I was going to
mixed.
say, are you far
No.
ahead of
I
yourself, mate?
just fucking got confused.
Nah, that's cool,
I
that's
confused
cool.
myself.
In my head, I'm like, fuck, this guy's organised. He's got fucking 10 months in
No,
advance.
seeing fucking Volkanovski against Islam would be probably worth the
Have they
trip.
announced that, have they?
It has to be
Whitaker
the fight.
versus
Whitaker Costa.
as well. Yeah.
And I think
They've got all Aussies. That
Cejudo's been talking shit to Sean O'Malley though, and they've been trying to G up for that card as well.
yeah, cool. Is it Jack Mandalay?
Jack Madalena.
Yeah, he's on there too. He's been fucking killing shit.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to fill it full of Aussies.
Yeah, but we got banger Aussies now. It's not like back
We're
in
taking over almost, aren't we?
Even like the Kiwis and Aussies in the UFC.
We're claiming the Kiwis, surely.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We claim the ones we want. Israel, Australian.
Yeah. Hooker, Australian. He has been on a bit of a slouch.
That's right, we'll take him.
I've always fucked with Hooker.
Hooker's fighting this weekend.
On
Isn't
that
he?
same card.
I think he's fighting this weekend.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. I feel like it's someone.
I've got a feeling he's going to fucking get knocked out. They'll know the result by now.
He's had a tough run, hasn't he? I can't remember what he's.
Is he?
Did he just fight Islam? Did he? I think.
No.
Hooker.
Israel. Oh, Hooker.
Yeah.
Hooker just his last fight was Islam, and he
Yeah.
got totally fucking dominated.
And I
but
reckon he got fucking murked by Chandler before that.
yeah, he got knocked out by Chandler.
I think there's probably one we're missing, but I
He
think he's
keeps jumping up in weight and down. I think he's just struggling to find what's kind of working for him. But he's been in some wars. It wouldn't surprise me if he's a bit chinny.
What's your prediction for
Izzy and Pereira?
Yeah.
Pereira's going to knock him out, I reckon.
Jesus?
I don't know.
Are you a gambling man?
Yeah.
That'd be paying, surely. I'll just have a quick look.
I think it's paying $2.30.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, not for the knockout, but to win. I think he's beaten him twice.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean shit.
No, I don't think.
Especially
$3.75 for a KO.
For a KO. What's Izzy paying for a KO?
$5.75. $2.10 for the points, though. So they think he'll counterfight him or whatever, or wrestle him potentially.
I don't know. I just don't know that. I was watching UFC Embedded today, and that Pereira dude's just got this look in his eyes where he's like fucking, and the training, like,
It's a dope story. It's a good storyline,
And
isn't
if
it?
Izzy wins, good on him. But like losing twice to someone has to be in your head.
Has he
Do you
lost
know?
twice?
Yeah, he lost
okay.
by points and then knockout.
I knew the knockout one. I didn't know. I don't think I knew.
But apparently the first one was close.
super close. Yeah.
And the second one, Izzy was winning the fight up until that knockout. So you still lost twice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't count that, can you?
No, you didn't.
still lost. You got
Just because
knocked
you
out.
almost won, you
Yeah.
got knocked out. And he's going to be in. He was in fucking 10-ounce gloves then, or 12-ounce gloves. He wasn't in 4-ounce gloves.
And I always struggle to say it. Pereira.
Pereira.
He's just been knocking fools out too. So it's like,
I don't know, man. You just watch that in bed and you can just see the confidence in someone, and he looks so sharp.
Jesus Christ.
And Izzy's doing like heaps of reflex training and like catching tennis balls, and this cunt's just sparring and sparring and sparring and sparring like a murderer. And it's just like, fuck.
What else is on that card? What's the co-main event of that?
Co-main's Chandler and Poirier.
That's a dope fight.
That's a fucking banger fight.
That's almost a better fight to me. Yeah.
That's going to be a good fight.
And then it's I think the co-main is chick fight, isn't it? Carla Esparza versus someone, I'm guessing.
Zhang Wei Li?
Potentially.
I think so.
And then it's Chandler Poirier.
Yeah.
That's a killer fight. They're two dudes I really fuck with, because every time they fight, it's super exciting.
I got money on Chandler with Miles.
You're on Chandler and he's on Poirier?
I'm on Chandler. He's such a Poirier dick rider. He loves Poirier.
So I'd pick Poirier.
Everyone else is, but Chandler's so aggressive for like the first 25 seconds of a fight, and then he just gasses out.
That'd be a gangster fight.
But do you know what I mean? That first round is going to be insane, because Chandler just comes out fucking balls deep.
What was that fight back? Him and Gaethje was a sick fight.
Him and Gaethje was a sick fight. Him and Tony Ferguson, where fucking...
He got his head kicked off.
Chandler, just threw a fucking punt.
Tony Ferguson's a tough sell for me.
Yeah, he's done. He is done now.
Just as a person.
Yeah. Oh, have you watched his interviews?
Nah. I've seen it. Bits and pieces, but he's a fucking... Everyone's different. But
I used to get really fucking stoned and just put on Tony Ferguson interviews, because he doesn't make any sense, like, at all. Like,
and then you'd just be even more confused.
And then I'd be more confused. And I'd just sit there and be like, how is he allowed to do media?
With his speed dealer sunnies on and shit.
He's obviously got major signs of early CTE.
Like, he's a different cat.
And they put this cunt in front of a camera and let him talk. Like, it's just a wild sport.
Remember when he was like the dude to beat Khabib?
Yeah, now after seeing
everything, it's kind of tough, isn't it? You know, I mean, it's a hard sell now.
It's hard, because if it was in Tony's prime, he was a bit of fucking... Like, he was crazy, so like he could have maybe have done something real fucked up and it would have worked.
Off his back or something.
Yeah, maybe, his back, or even standing, just cut him, or just something might have happened, but Khabib was just too good. Like, no one's going to beat him. No. The person who had the most success against Khabib, funnily enough, was Conor.
Yeah.
Like, Conor McGregor had... And he didn't have that much, but Conor McGregor had the most out of anyone.
Who do I remember?
He won a round, I think. I think he's the only person who's taken a round off Khabib.
Fighting those fucking Dagestani dudes that's a nightmare, isn't it? Imagine preparing for that. I couldn't think of anything worse. I couldn't think of anything worse than preparing for a fight, full stop, to be honest, because I've never fucking done it in my life, and nor will I, but that's a different, like...
Well, Craig is going to be flying down to... Craig Jones, Adam's brother, we were talking about it before, he's going to be flying down to do Volk's camp.
Okay.
Because he's fucking, obviously, a phenomenal grappler and wrestler.
Yeah.
So he's going to be flying down and doing 2 or 3 months with Volkanovski.
What's their game plan, do you know?
We were talking about it on the podcast anyway, but...
like, just to be better off his back and shit, potentially?
Well, no, because the thing with these Dagestanis is, like, you're going to get taken down. Like,
that's what I mean.
You're not going to stop it. You're never, ever going to stop it. You need to know, though, how to scramble and not settle and to get straight back up.
Yeah, cool.
Or you're fucked.
Yeah.
If you're there for, like, 20 seconds and they wrap their fucking legs around your legs, you know what it's like to fucking just get held down. You just can't get up. It's like, those dudes would be 55 levels above anything you've ever felt, and it's like you'd just be stuck there.
It's a fucking gnarly thing, isn't it?
Terrifying, dude. I remember the first time I sparred a wrestler at M16's, little fucking dude, and he put me on my back and he put this pressure on my fucking body, and my, like, with his chest, he was smashing his fucking chest into my face.
Even like jiu-jitsu to what we're doing as such is like, I'm a hobbyist, if that makes sense. Like, you feel the difference when a wrestler do.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a scary thing even in what we're doing. Like,
they make themselves feel so heavy. Like, it's just so heavy, and
it's a different breed of person.
You feel like you're drowning.
Yeah.
And they're just stronger people than you. Like, if you've never felt how strong, like, a wrestler or something is, they're just so physically stronger than you. That
scary people.
It's like a bear.
I feel like they have different mindsets and shit too. Like,
there's
wrestlers are some gnarly...
No quit.
Yeah, just gnarly people, quit. Man, yeah.
And then you fucking add, like, being a hardcore Muslim on top of that, which is dedication. Like, they're already dedicated people growing up in the mountains,
Ugh.
like under like very strict conditions, and like you just form these super athletes. Like Khabib, I read an article. Khabib fucking confiscates his class people's phones if they're doing shit. And if they're getting if they're like doing shit in class or they're getting distracted,
if they're on their phone,
he would just confiscate them.
Yeah.
And he would just be like, you're not having like a child. Like to these grown fucking
wrestling now.
These grown fucking athletes.
Scary, dude. Fucking scary.
But yeah, I think Craig's whole like plan is obviously you're going to get taken down. You have to make sure you can get back up.
Yeah, cool. That's dope.
And then
That's
stick and move.
Yeah,
just stick and move. Because I think Craig just did a seminar touring Australia, and I think a lot of what he was teaching was how they entangle their legs to like hold you down, that pressure.
Okay.
So I think he's really familiar with how they do it.
Right.
It's just it's a different when someone's teaching you how to do it and then it gets done to you by the actual person. That's a whole nother thing.
That's very true. Yeah. It's a scary fucking thing.
Yeah, those Dagestanis don't fuck around.
Not in the slightest, man.
Do you get into any other sport?
Basketball a bit. Man, I do follow UFC religiously. Like, I love it. I'm not a full fucking nerd. Like, I don't know fucking every single fighter on every single card, but I just find it perfect for me. Like, Sunday morning into the Arvo. That is perfect. Killer. Yeah. Like, it just sets up my Sunday perfectly, you know what I mean? So, even the little fight nights, I watch... Unless I got something on for, you know, unless it's something crazy, I make sure I'm sitting down and watching a fight night when I wake up type of thing. So, UFC, always love my basketball. Outside of that, mate, like footy, I've noticed you got the footy I used to fuck with, but then it just got too hard.
This is honestly the only singlet I had, and it's fucking smoking hot. That's why I put it on. So I watch a football game.
I can't. Yeah.
I watch a football game every now and then, but I can't get too much into it. Just after watching like say like an MMA fight or something, and you watch like a sport with a ball, you're like, oh, it's a bit fucking boring.
Yeah, so I fuck with basketball, and like I guess like battle rap I still watch religiously too, so that's like that's almost like a fucking sport, to be completely honest with. Like, it's a weird thing to say, but like, yeah, if you follow it and watch all the events and stuff, it's almost like here's your they do pay-per-views and stuff now, so it's like pay-per-view, little interim card, pay-per-view. It's very similar.
Do you fuck with Blind Fury?
That's old school, man.
That's
fucking old school.
I used to love watching Blind Fury's videos.
That's funny as fuck.
He's still around, isn't he?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure he still
Probably
drops
on TikTok
like on TikTok and stuff. I swear I've seen some clips of him and shit.
Yeah, that's some old school shit. Yeah, that's funny as. But nah, man. Yeah, I do follow UFC pretty religiously. It's just the perfect fucking time, and couple of beers on a Sunday watching the fights is killer. So yeah, bit of basketball as well, but that's too fucking hard. There's 48 games on a day, so it's just like,
it's crazy.
Nuts.
I used to bet on basketball a bit because it was like the lines are pretty good, and you can kind of just gather what's happening just from watching who's winning.
Yeah,
like you don't really have to watch it. But then I was like, fuck, it's overwhelming. They play like 6 times a fucking week.
It's gnarly. And I think I just like watching players. Like if I see someone's playing,
I like watching Steph Curry play.
Yeah, cool.
Because I'm not like a basketball fan at all, but I like watching like the big ones play.
It's impressive, man, isn't it? You know?
He's the best at shooting a ball into a hole from a certain distance. Like, it's crazy.
It's nuts.
It's such a weird fucking skill set to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I always fuck with. I always watching Portland games. Damian Lillard. I was an old school Lakers fan when I was like Shaq and Kobe. But yeah, like I said, man, I haven't. UFC's if I was to say anything, like UFC is probably the thing I'd have an idea about what's going on. I got my head around it to some degree.
Kobe Bryant was a big one, wasn't it?
Massive.
That was like one of the biggest ones ever.
Yeah, potentially.
In sports history.
Potentially, right? Yeah.
Because he was like the Michael Jackson of fucking
Jordan.
Jackson. He was like the Michael Jackson of basketball. I was going to say.
Yeah, my bad.
He was like the GOAT. He was all considered.
I thought you were trying to say like the modern era.
No. I was saying
Michael Jackson.
He was like the Michael Jackson.
Bro, everyone knew Kobe,
everyone knew Kobe
like Jordan.
Bryant.
I guess Jordan is the other kind of. If you know basketball players, it's Jordan. Kobe's probably not as well known, but potentially now that he's gone.
I think he was massive though, wasn't he?
Big.
And then fucking didn't he? He died with his daughter. Both of them or one of them?
I believe it was only one.
That poor woman.
Horrible.
That poor wife.
I think his daughter was dope at basketball too, from memory. Like,
oh really?
Yeah.
That's fucked.
I think she was older. Like, I'm speaking fucking way out of pocket here, but like 16 or something. I think she was really dope at basketball. Yeah. And it was a helicopter crash, if you remember.
Yeah, it was a helicopter, and it was him and his daughter, and then he left he's got one more daughter left and his wife, I think.
Crazy shit, man.
That's fucked. What do you do?
Can't do anything, man.
No, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Once you're fucking done,
you have
you're
the money
done.
to fucking fly private helicopters because you're late for school or some shit, and that's what fucking...
Did they ever understand what the issue was? Like, was it the pilot's fault? Or?
Couldn't tell you, mate. I don't even know if the pilot died or... I'm guessing he did, yeah.
He'd fucking want to be dead if it was his fault.
Yeah, it'd be a tough...
He wouldn't be a popular bloke.
Jesus Christ.
It'd be a tough pill to swallow, fucking killing one of the best athletes of all time and his daughter.
It's a weird thing in all that shit, like... Again, a battle rapper. That's what I was going to say before. He did some little diss track to the... I think it was after the M thing, and he's dope. This guy called Pat Stay from Canada, rest in peace. He's basically one of the best to do it as far as I'm concerned, which is different. He's not Kobe. You know, he hasn't got 7 million followers on it, or however many Kobe has, 100 million followers. He's got 50,000. The battle rap community is very small, but if you know something about battle rap, you know he's probably one of the best to do it. And he passed away the other week. And just like, it's an odd thing. I don't know him from a bar of soap, but I just so happen to be involved in the same shit that he does and know a similar group of people. Not personally, but like, yeah, a very small group of people. And it's a fucking odd thing to grasp, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird because you feel like connected to these people. But
especially through social media. I guess that's the big difference nowadays, right? Like you got
like
social
media.
Podcasts, like I said, man, like you feel like that YMH group and like you feel a part of that shit when all the inside jokes and all the funny
if
shit.
If Tom Segura died, I'd be fucking devo.
It'd be horrible, right?
I'd be
We don't know him from a bar of soap,
livid.
and he probably would hate us.
Yeah, I'd be livid. But the only thing, like, well, how come... What's the different skill set between, like, an elite battle rapper and an elite rapper?
That's a good question.
Like, what is... Well, I don't understand.
It's completely different skill sets, for one.
Is a lot of it off the dome? Is any of it off the dome?
Zero, bro.
None.
So the only thing you'll see now is, like, if me and you were battling, so I've got... You've got pre-written material for me for... an agreed time limit. So we've got 3 rounds at 2 minutes. And you've written down 2 minutes worth of material. So if I say something to you that you can wittily go off the cuff and flip, they call it a flip. So like, just flip what you said on the head. That'd be the only time you hear a freestyle.
Have you seen that guy on social media? See, now I think it's fucking staged.
Harry Mack?
Yeah, is it? He goes up to people and gives them, like, throw out a word.
Could be that Harry Mack dude.
Yeah.
He's freestyling.
And he's like, throw out a word and, like, 6 people will be like apple.
Yeah, he's dope.
And he fucking goes off the cut. And you can tell, I think you can tell he's kind of freestyling because it kind of looks like he's trying to think ahead, which I'm assuming when you're kind of freestyling is what you do. You have to be, like, 2 bars ahead or you're fucked.
Harry Mack's freestyling for sure. That word freestyle has always been loosely used too, if that makes sense. Like the old school days of like, that'd be on a radio show, like, I don't fucking know. Hobson is on a radio show in LA and they call it a freestyle. But to freestyle, he's just rapping his verse over someone else's beat and they call it that. It's not off the top of his head. That always confused things, I noticed as well, if that makes sense.
There's been some absolute banger
you can
freestyles
tell. You can tell when
Sway.
someone's freestyling because it's crap. Yeah. For the most part, Harry Mack's pretty good, but you can still, like, he says the same shit, and that's not discrediting him, but you can hear when it's a verse and you can hear when it's a freestyle. You can tell that it's spontaneous by the way he's delivering it and stuff like this.
That Sway in the Morning has some
shit like that.
Fucking good. They're obviously not freestyles, but it has some
Los.
good
if you see
bars
King Los
on
on Sway, like, I think that's freestyle from memory. There's a couple you can tell.
Like that Little Dicky has a fucking really good one.
I'm not even sure
Sway.
if that's freestyle, but that
it
is
wouldn't
dope.
be. It wouldn't be.
Have you seen that show? He's got a TV show now and it's dope.
Yeah, on Netflix, yeah, I haven't seen it.
I don't know if it's on Netflix, but it's dope. It's got Santino's like the main guy.
I've seen the ad somewhere. It might be on Prime or something.
It's killer.
There was a stream that Tory Lanez did with... Do you know Tory Lanez?
Yep.
He did a stream with this really massive streamer called Aiden Ross.
Yeah. And I'm so out of the loop, aren't I?
Do you know who Aiden Ross is?
Never.
So he has on like that... He has all these young he's like a streamer, like a Twitch streamer, but he's fucking blown up huge and he obviously is really in with like rap.
And Twitch streaming Doesn't mean he's gaming these days.
No,
so he's not gaming.
He just talks.
Yep.
He just talks, and he
Similar to a podcast,
almost
but
like
live.
a podcast. It's like a new era of podcasts.
Alright, cool.
He just talks shit. He gets on people sometimes, or he's talking to his chat. But he has on rappers like that NLE Chopper.
Yep.
And he has on all those like real young rappers. Sometimes, and they're all fucking around, smoking, drinking, and just rapping.
Yep.
Sometimes, and he had on Tory Lanez, and Tory Lanez was rolling a fucking joint, and they just put on this song, and you could tell it was off the fucking dome because
Yeah,
it
I've
wasn't.
seen
It
this.
was, and he's like 20,000 bitches on the island, 20,000 bitches go private. She make it clap. I got the strap. 21
Yeah.
gets. Feel like I'm savage. 21 bitches and none of them average. I'm gonna fuck me to nut me a bab. He was rapping that.
I know what it
was
is. Yeah.
so fucking.
That's a Soldier Boy
hard.
beat, isn't it? Do you know it?
I don't know what the beat was.
She make it clap.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
I've seen that. And
And
it
it-
looks like they're sitting around a webcam
And
almost.
they
There's
are.
like 5 dudes.
Yeah, because it's on a Twitch stream.
It is. I have seen that. It's
And
dope.
you can see in everyone's face how shocked they were
got-
because he hit the beat so perfect, and everyone was like, because they knew it
the
was.
beat is hard.
They
too.
knew it was going to go viral straight
Yeah.
away. Like, they were like, oh my God. And it turned into this massive viral song on TikTok and shit. And
Yeah,
it's just
right.
like little moments like that are so fun to watch.
Yeah, that's killer. Yeah, I have seen that. That's funny. You
It's
say
like
that.
one in a fucking million though, but that's just so lucky. What's your hardest beat of all time?
Jesus Christ. My shit's always very subjective. You know what I mean? Like it's all just like the shit I like always refers back to, I don't know, like a point in time. If that makes sense. Like it doesn't mean it's a fucking like generally known
Well,
as a
like
really good
what-
song or something.
Your favourite beat almost to rap over?
Jesus Christ, this is stressing me, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I'll give you mine. Mine's Shook Ones.
I was gonna say Shook Ones has to be up there, man.
Shook
Yeah.
Ones has to be it.
I think Shook Ones for me, like as corny as this is, like 8 Mile solidified that beat. Like that was a hardcore scene when Shook One starts playing in that I think it's like the last round of the battle. It was fucking
Shook
dope.
Ones is definitely one of the greatest beats of all time.
I like how like funky like if I still make music to this day, not like I used to, but I like real funky kind of upbeat shit. Like that's some real gritty shit. Like I'm not a gritty dude, so I don't rap on gritty beats.
See,
You know what I mean?
I love Monops's beats because these are nice and gritty as well.
Yeah, Monops can rap like that, you know what I mean?
Monops's beats are nice and filthy sometimes.
If I was saying what Monops is saying, they'd be like, this dude's a fucking traitor, you know what I mean? Like, he's a fucking... Monops can rap like that, so... fuck, bro. One that springs to mind is Nas is Like, which is a primo beat. I hope I didn't get that wrong, but Nas is Like... That beat, always fucking... Gangstar Moment of Truth, that's an awesome beat.
That If I Rule the World beat's fucking dope as well.
We went through a phase, like... I'm sure I'm guessing you went through that phase just based on what you were saying before, but I do struggle to listen to it a bit more now. But like that Jedi Mind Tricks phase,
Jedi Mind Tricks,
Like,
so hard.
some of those beats back in the day were that's stupid.
5?
5?
Is it 5 by... Or what's the
I don't know.
Jedi Mind Tricks?
I'm
think it's
talking about
called
like some
5.
older shit. Like
bro.
he's still doing like I think they're still doing shit, or at least Vinny Paz is. But I think his name was Stoop, the Enemy of Mankind, or something. He was a producer for a lot of that stuff, and some of those beats
some
were hard.
hard beats.
But
They're
see, I
just
would never
made-
rap over that.
They're made for walkout songs. All of those
Facts.
songs are just made for people to walk out to a fucking cage and hit each other.
And they have. Many
Dude.
people have.
What is that
I
song?
feel like Miles almost has come out to Jedi Mind Tricks before, hasn't he?
Everyone.
Talking about him.
I think he would have had to. He always bumps this fucking song.
Do you know, like, I've always been a fan of fighting and stuff, and always been like watching from the outside, and that's it. I'm not saying this out of pocket at all. I don't want to fight for fuck all, but the only reason I would is to have a dope walkout song.
Oh,
I've always
dude,
thought about what would your
about
walkout song be.
I've thought about it
What would
so many times.
What's your walkout song? Mine would be something fucking weird.
Just weird.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know. I don't know. No, it's 7. 7. Wait up. A Jedi Mind Trick.
But Heavy Metal Kings is the one, like, that's...
This one. That one. Army of the Pharaohs. 7. You know it?
9 years ago. Shit.
You know it?
Maybe when I hear it. I can't lie. I definitely dropped off these guys.
Oh, it's such a hard beat.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a hard beat.
This sounds like that End of Days beat. Do you remember End of Days too?
Nah. It's such a good beat.
It's just not End of Days. Sorry, I just took...
No, you're right.
Must be different.
Greatest form of control. See the bars and touch it. We are being in a country and in a world.
Similar. Very similar.
This song is hard. Have you heard this song?
What's it called?
I knew that beat. Listen to this.
It's very similar.
The hook is wild. See, I couldn't listen to this now, but back in the day,
Yeah, everyone had a Jedi mind tricks phase. Yes, I remember this. No way. Do you know what's weird about songs? How you just forget about them until you don't forget about them.
that's one of them for me for sure. Like that was bumping in my whatever I was iPod shuffle, I guess at that point in time or something. Like, yeah, that shit was.
I find it so weird just when you hear this song and it just triggers you and you're like, oh my god, I used to fuck with that song all the time.
See that type of like. Vinnie Paz is dope. I've always loved Adam, but I'd struggle to listen to that shit nowadays. That real heavy, like rapping about stabbing people. I struggle.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with that. You got to be in a certain mood to fucking deal with that.
Yeah, the mood of wanting to fucking stab
someone
somebody
in the throat. And then deal some crack to some kids or something.
Yeah, which that mood doesn't normally come up for me. So I'm just finding myself listening to some real fucking gay shit.
But then fucking. Like, I remember I went through this massive phase where I loved fast rap.
Okay.
Have you ever?
Like what, Tech 9 or some shit?
Yeah, like Tech 9.
Nah, I struggle.
When he puts on that worldwide choppers and
I
shit.
got the intravenous meanest penis.
Oh, dude, it's just another... It's like the difference between rapping and then battle rapping, though. It's just another genre that's fucking hard to do.
I was trying to think. There was some dude...
There's one fast rap song, though, that I fucking love.
I think Twister was known to be one.
Twister's good.
Yeah.
Twister's good. And then there was, what's that cunt? He's got really famous off YouTube, white dude.
Fast dude.
Yeah. Did like ABC rap. He's white dude.
Bro. I've got a feeling I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was massive, but fuck, I just went through this massive hole of fast rap for years.
Oh shit, see, I struggle with that, I can't lie to you. Yeah.
No, you can't sing along to it.
I don't even think they can.
And
I
it
don't
doesn't
think they know what
sound
they're
good.
saying.
Like, you put it on
and they're
now,
not saying anything. It's just
it's
words that rhyme. That's what's with that M shit. It's just like, it sounds cool, I guess, if that's what you're into. But if you broke that down, they're saying nothing. Like, I shouldn't say that. There's probably some dude out there doing it well.
There's a really good song with R.A. the Rugged Man.
That was a Jedi, unless Uncommon Valor. Is that what you're talking about? That's a Jedi mind trick song. There's one called Chains as well.
But what would your walkout song be?
I've thought about this so much, and for some reason I've just gone completely blank. It'd be something odd, but if it was... Jesus, man. Let me get back to you.
I've got hundreds of them this Gift of Gab, that song's a fucking banger.
Yeah, Rugged Man's dope. Like,
R.A. the Rugged Man, Gift of Gab, and it features Gift of Gab featuring Afro. I don't know, but fucking
Afro is
good beat.
Someone's son or some shit, I believe.
It's
is
a
that
real
a young kid?
He looks young. It's a really great beat though.
What's up? Gift of Gab.
It's a really good little funky beat.
Enter my energy element. I am an entity walking ahead of the pack.
Who's that?
Am out of my head
Is that Tech 9?
Nah, this is Gift of Gab.
Okay. Elegant metaphors ready to set it off. Dead on your petty levels. I'm ready and able to murder endurance. He's all in the pieces of murking and berries. He's honoring easily crumbs.
It's pretty like...
Yeah, it's different.
It is different, but I used to just fuck with that so much.
Yeah, I feel like he was saying more than what I was thinking. But yeah, some of that Tech 9 shit and stuff, man, I don't know. It wasn't for me, bro, to be honest.
Yeah, I just so what are you looking forward to most when you're in Darwin, just sitting?
Like I said, man, it's like I don't actually fucking
Have
know.
you always wanted to move from Adelaide?
Nah. This is all very sporadic. It's all very odd. So, I don't know. I just thought, fuck it, why not? Like, I don't know, people always do that shit, right? Like, change the scenery.
If it doesn't work, you just come back.
That was basically what it all came down to. We've got fuck all to lose. It's been kind of stressful trying to organise everything, I guess. I haven't done fuck all yet either, so it's only going to get more stressful. But in my theory, it's just making myself feel uncomfortable will be better for me to some degree, for some reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you feel held comfortable when you just
get in like a little slump where you're like, oh, you're just cruising by life, and then like 4 years pass by and no shit's changed. You haven't like bettered yourself at all because you're so comfortable.
Yeah, I've been held comfortable doing the same shit. And which is, it's an odd thing to say, right? Like, it's kind of, I guess a lot of people are looking for comfortability. I'm guessing. I don't know.
I was thinking like that. Yeah, I think it was like last year.
It's about to get deep.
Last year, I was like, I'd love to just fucking move, but I didn't pull the trigger. Like, I'd love to move to just Queensland or something, just to change it up.
So I always like have wild fucking schemes and thoughts and shit, and it's probably why I've done a lot of this other fucking stuff. You know what I mean? But This just kind of happened because I said one thing to one person and it got escalated really quickly. Like, if I didn't say anything, I'd probably just ran with it. Yeah, I'm just like, oh fuck, it was basically like, fuck, I'm pretty deep now. I have to fucking commit almost. So, which is probably will end up being a beneficial thing to me, because otherwise I probably would have sat around and fucking denied about it. You know what I mean? And
as long as your missus is fucking keen on it, that makes it so much easier.
Mate, she was the fucking the instigator. Well, not the instigator. I was the instigator, sorry, but she was the one that kind of...
Has she found work up there?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, so it's all good. Like I said, mate, I might be there for 6 months and fucking hate it.
You might be there for 6 years.
Correct. That's the theory, right? Like, I don't actually know, so find a gym up there.
The world's so much bigger than South Australia.
Yeah. And it's bigger than fucking Australia too,
Have you travelled?
Like, not really, bro. Like, no. I've been around... Done Thailand, I've done Bali, I've done the fucking typical Australian shit, but
you've never been to Europe or anything?
So I had Europe booked when COVID hit.
Oh, so I had all my... What a dick.
London, Spain.
Oh, that's fucked.
Amsterdam.
They give you your money back?
Yeah. Oh. I was fucking super lucky, dude, eh? It was a pain in the ass, because this was like...
That's a fuck ton of money.
Fuck ton of money. Fucking... I think I lost out on a couple of things, but they were minor. On the
I know
big
a lot of
things.
people that got fucked.
But we thought we were fucked because the hardest part was like, obviously this is when it first happened in Australia, when it was I can't really remember the timeline.
Wait, bro, I was thinking that like a couple days ago. I don't even know the timeline of COVID anymore.
Nah,
did it start 2 years ago or 4?
I feel like 10. I don't know, bro. I feel like whenever it started, I reckon we booked our shit
end of 2019. I reckon
we booked our shit like now.
Yeah.
To go halfway through next year, if that makes sense. And then come March,
which
April?
Makes sense because I'm fairly sure it was the end of 2019 is when it started kicking off.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's just say we booked it 2 months before that. And then fucking 3 months before we were about to leave, 2 months before that, it was like, everyone was just shitting.
Yeah.
Like, it was a weird fucking time. But, like, obviously, all flights are cancelled. You can't do this. I can't remember the fucking ins and outs, but we were trying to ring people, the flight. No one picks up the phone. Like, it just engaged. No response to email. So it's just like, they've got bigger fish to fry. Like, the world's fucked. You know what I mean? Like,
we're going to lose $10 billion.
They're not worried about me trying to get my fucking couple of grand back we were just like, I don't know if we got lucky or we were just super patient with it, and it kind of
lucky, because if you fucking went over there, you would have been stuck there for fucking God knows how long.
Bro, fuck that. That'd be fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Sounds good, but fuck that.
Europe, so like the world is so much bigger than Australia, because I've travelled like a bit of Europe. I'm doing Asia next year, but Europe and shit, when you go over there, like I went to that Tomorrowland by myself.
Yeah, nice. By yourself?
Yeah,
so you're a different cat. Like, you can say, that's too much for me.
I fucking just soloed that by myself for 3 days.
That's gangster.
Then I've done all the Greek islands, did a bit more of Europe, and there's just other people, and like they're living lives just like you are, but they're just on a different patch of fucking dirt.
Yep.
And they just got different rules. Like,
and it's weird to comprehend, right?
It's so weird because there's just like, you live in these bubbles. Like, nothing outside of the South really is real to me.
Yep.
Because you get in these bubbles.
For sure.
And you're like, and then you look at someone and they're being a fucking cunt, and you want to punch them in the head because they're being a cunt to you, but you're like, oh, you have a life.
Yeah.
And maybe you had a shit day, but you don't think about it at the time. It's just so weird.
But if you're somewhere else, you'd drop him. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you can't. You got to fucking watch what you do in those European countries.
I can imagine, man. End up in a fucking dirty slam or somewhere for 10 years
when I was in, my parents are from Cyprus. It's like an island off Greece. It's its own country, but we speak Greek. We're Greek, but it's just a little island called Cyprus.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And there's this party section of it called Ayia Napa. Mm-hmm. And all of the English and Swedish and like German tourists and Russian tourists go there in their off season. Right. I mean, their school holiday season to party. and it was like the size of Morphevale, this suburb, but there was 4 million tourists under the age of 25 when I was there.
Wow.
And it's just a party. And you're walking around.
How far is that from Cyprus? Is it another island?
No. So it's in Cyprus. Cyprus is a tiny island. You can drive from one end to the other in like 4 hours.
Right.
But there's like a suburb the size of Morphevale, called Ionapa, and it's just a party district.
Right.
And Russians own everything there. And you're looking around and you're like, these cunts, you got to really mind your fucking P's and Q's, because Australian humour doesn't land everywhere.
Right.
Like, if you go up to someone and be like, oi, cunt, they'll just fucking hit you.
Yeah.
You got to really watch what you say to people. And a lot of people don't fuck around. Like, they're a lot more stern than Australians.
Yeah.
But being Australian also, like, gets you away with a lot in other countries, because I think they see us as hillbillies.
Bro, we are fucking hillbillies. Like, when you go to... I'm not woke and like hell advanced and shit, but like now that I look back at like the shit you do in Bali and stuff, like you just like and see what it's pretty fucking gnarly, isn't it? Like, you're like, fuck, is that really what we are? You know what I mean? It's pretty fucking...
We are a pack of fucking animals that is there for the world's entertainment.
And we don't care about anything else. Fuck your rules, fuck this, fuck... It's pretty sad,
I
really.
just want to pull a sickie.
I've played a part in this, don't get me wrong, but like...
You just want to pull a sickie and have a beer. I remember Tim Dillon went on a rant when COVID first hit, and he goes, the only people who are not affected by COVID are Australians, because they like not going to work and drinking beer at their house all day. They have been preparing for COVID for their whole lives. But fucking yeah, when I went to Tomorrowland, there's like on the main stage fits like fucking 100,000 people. It's massive.
That's EDM shit, right?
Yeah. There's a hill, a massive hill, and they call it Aussie Hill. So if you get lost, you just go to Aussie Hill, because it's just full of Aussies.
Yep.
And it's a massive hill, and you can see all the other countries kind of just standing on the side skirts and just watching.
Yep.
Because
they're the most fucking rowdy mob.
Australians get so fucking loose. It's incredible how loose we get compared to other like countries. Like the loosest.
That's when like listening to podcasts and stuff. The American, like that comedy. When you hear them talk, you're like, oh, fuck, you don't know, do you?
No, they don't
we were
understand.
drunk, we had 4 beers last night. We got fucking wasted. And like, that's how they talk, hey? Like, it's not maybe... I don't know the reference, but like Segura, and that's how they all talk. Like, fucky Kreischer maybe is the anomaly, but they all talk
but
like...
you know what? I know some blokes that Bert Kreischer wouldn't be able to drink with.
Yeah.
Like, he just wouldn't be able to.
Talk like him, like he's a god in that sense, but I think that's just like a normal weekend in Australia.
I got a bloke 2 fucking streets away that he's like...
He's
he's just a weapon. Just a weapon.
And just puts beers away?
Yeah, you just can't, like... I don't think they understand the drinking culture in Australia, like the bender.
Nah.
Like the proper Australian bender.
Yeah.
Because, and also another thing, when all these other countries that are used to cold climates, like English people, maybe they can drink. But when,
I feel like Poms can drink, yeah.
But when they go to a country that's 35 degrees like Cyprus is, they can't. Because they're not used to the fucking heat.
Center.
No, they're just not used to it. So when an Aussie goes to like a country that's getting 30 to 35 degrees days every single day,
in his element,
it's like, oh, this is beautiful.
Home sweet home.
It's beautiful.
It's a home game.
You like sweating. You're used to
game.
it. You see these English cunts, they're bright fucking red.
Bro, I'm white as a motherfucker too. That's almost me somehow after living out in Australia for fucking 30
I've never
years.
seen anything like it. These English people just walking around, faces are fucking bright red, pissed as fuck off like 4 pints, pissing in the street, passed out just because of the heat. I think it's the heat. They get fucking heat strokes, but they can't do it.
Do you still love that shit? Like if you were to go somewhere, you're chasing that party, like
yeah. Every now I got to rein it in a bit though, because fucking I just don't agree with it the next day anymore. Like I'm not a 2-day kind of guy anymore, but I do love a big night.
Yeah, there you go.
But it just fucking gets me the next day now.
I think I did it all too early.
I just do stupid shit too, like to my body. Like I'll just fucking injure myself somehow. Like I still think I'm fucking 18.
You still training shit or?
Yeah, but only mornings and shit with Miles and that. I can't go to the night classes as much. And then you know how it is. You don't go for a while, then you psych yourself out, then you got to fucking go back, and then some 18-year-old's going to beat the fuck out of you.
For sure, for sure.
It's like a cycle.
Yeah, for sure. You do jiu-jitsu or you?
Nah, just striking.
I thought so,
I used to do jiu-jitsu a little bit, but it's so fucking hard.
Right.
Like you have to go so repetitively to see progress.
Sure.
It's not like a lot of sports where you can kind of
blend in or something maybe.
Yeah,
or?
you can kind of blend in and coast. In jiu-jitsu, you're going to get fucking tapped unless you keep training. Like, you're just going to keep getting tapped and tapped and tapped.
Yeah.
It's a great sport, though.
Yeah, it's killer. I love it, man. Yeah. Definitely glad I found
You a
it.
purple belt?
Brown. Yep.
Oh, big dog.
It's fucking serious now, mate.
How much? How long you been a brown belt?
Not long. It's relatively fresh.
Couple years,
and it was
and
a
you'll
big,
be a fucking
big surprise as well. Actually, definitely didn't think I was going to get it. When was that? Maybe 3 months ago, 4 months.
Did you
ago.
get it from Beachside?
Yep.
No way.
Lucky.
That's fucking good. That's a good brown belt too. Like, that's not
Moody and Conway were there. It was good.
No way.
Yeah.
The old fucking Moody. He got back last week.
Yeah, I seen him yesterday. I trained yesterday, and he was there at lunch, and I managed to avoid him somehow. He called me out, and then something happened. He called me out, and then somehow someone else jumped in his way because someone else said they'd do a round with him, and then I'm like, fuck, yeah, no dramas.
Yeah, Adam said Moody owes him a dinner after what he did to him
Fucking
last
hell.
night.
I can only imagine he's on a mission too, you know what I mean? Just like, has to. I know he's a fucking competitive dude, so it's like, you guys have to know that I've been working. That's how, you know what I mean? I don't want to speak for him, but
for
I'm sure
someone that competitive, like sitting
he
down.
has to let us know that this is what I've been doing. I'm going to fuck you up.
He's been at B team with like these fucking absolute murderers, getting like humbled a bit as well. So
for
he's
sure.
probably got all this pent up fucking rage inside.
3 months of just fucking, and you know, you used to cop it at the fucking best of times. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, it's a different beast now for sure. But funnily enough, like, I did train jiu-jitsu when I first started the podcast. I was just getting into it, and then I had Moody on, who I didn't know from a bar of soap, but someone told me to have him on, and then I started training with him. So, and then I've been training ever since. So I probably wouldn't be training if it wasn't for like those dudes.
He's
as well.
obviously a black belt, isn't he?
Who's that? Moody. Yeah.
He would have gotten one so quickly. How long has he been training since?
Mate, well, sorry, Moody, if I fuck this up, but when I had him on the podcast, when did I do the podcast?
6 to 8 years ago, I'd say.
Bullshit.
4?
I was going to say 2 years ago.
No way, really?
No, it's not. I reckon you're probably more right than I am.
Is it still on YouTube?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I don't maintain it, but I'm sure it's still up there. I reckon, I was going to say 2 or 3 years, but I reckon it's more, maybe it's 5. I reckon he was a purple belt. I reckon he was a purple belt then, and I reckon he's been a black belt for 2 years.
What the fuck? Oh, no, that's your rap. You upload rap on there too.
Yeah,
3 years ago was your last upload.
Yeah, so 4 years ago, say.
Yeah, right. No
So I reckon
shit.
when he was on was early days, so I reckon he might have just got his brown belt or he was a purple belt, so... And now he's obviously...
What was the feeling like getting your brown? Because brown belt and a black belt's just time.
Yeah, it was...
Like the difference between...
Man, to be completely honest with you, man, it was just like... it was like, fuck. Like, it was like a... I'm like, fuck, now I'm going to have to fucking train. You know what I mean? It was almost like a... Yeah,
the line's not over
yeah,
yet.
it just kind of gave me... Which is obviously... I don't know if that's a natural reaction or
Well,
not.
it's
but
different for like a hobbyist like you.
I am a hobbyist, for
and
sure.
then like a competitor like Declan. Like, he obviously wants to make this his job. So
Yep.
once he reaches black belt, that's just a belt to him. He has bigger things to accomplish. But for like a hobbyist, getting a black belt's like that's the biggest achievement you'll ever achieve in a sporting. Do you know what I mean?
It's pretty.
That's huge.
It's pretty
There's
big too, isn't it? You know what I mean?
2% of fucking humans, 1% of humans have that.
And I guess, like, yeah, but the thing was, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in this, I'm like, fuck, now I'm going to have to fucking, like,
You would kill...
go harder. And
you
shit.
would kill anyone that doesn't know jiu-jitsu.
I don't know.
Yeah, you would.
You think about this. I think about this shit. You know?
You would
Yeah.
kill, unless they're a genetic freak.
This is the shit that scares me about jiu-jitsu, though. You know, you get the
85
blue belt fucking kid that's been training for
Yeah.
a year and this is a phenom, and I'm like, fuck, that makes me want
But
to give up.
he knows jiu-jitsu, so like 85% of the world...
Is this a fact, or are you just spitting
No,
numbers?
100% fact. 85% of the world, you'd be able to manhandle.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Fuck knows, bro.
85.
Yeah, I'd do it for other reasons, but yeah, you're right. It's fucking good shit, man. Like, I was watching some wild. I don't want to go fucking off topic, but like, I've never done it for practical use, I guess, if that makes sense. I just fucking love it. There's something about
Yeah,
it.
you
I
just
love
enjoy it.
I love UFC. It kind of goes hand in hand. I enjoy fucking getting tapped. I enjoy tapping people. There's something about it. And I've trained more now than I have for the last. I think I've been training for 7 years, and I think the last 2 years I've trained twice as much as I ever have. I teach a bit now at Beachside, so it adds a different element to it, and I'm enjoying it. Whereas I was only ever twice a week, most. Because that's when I was doing the podcast. And I just had heaps of other shit I was doing, you know what I mean? Where was I going with this?
You were training at Beachside, you just started teaching people there.
No, oh yeah, sorry. No, what I was going to get back to, but yeah, I've never seen it too much practical shit. It was just like, I really enjoyed myself, right? But I was watching this documentary last night. It was about kids with autism or some shit, and like the mum was like holding down her kid because he was like having this full meltdown. But like even that was, she couldn't hold him down. I'm not saying he's pretty strong as a fucking ox, don't get me wrong, but like just like I'm like, oh, she should learn jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And it's a weird, like I'm almost at that point now where it's like
everyone should learn jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it's a fucking, I've never been a fucking...
Jiu-jitsu's exploded so much within the last
massive,
4 or 5 years. It's not, it's still, I wouldn't even say it's niche anymore. It used to be really niche, but I don't think it's niche anymore. I think it's pretty, it's understood. Like everyone knows kind of, I think, what jiu-jitsu is now faintly.
Yeah.
Like if you say jiu-jitsu to someone, not many people will say, what the fuck's that anymore?
I don't have that conversation with anyone. I keep it under wraps. It's too hard.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, you kick boards? Yeah.
Yeah,
I kick boards. I chop boards, chop bricks and shit.
But then, like
some
you
people's
said,
reaction.
there's that 14-year-old blue belt out there.
That's the dudes that just make you want to quit. You know,
grab your fucking heel and he will rip it off your body.
So I've been doing this shit for this long, and you just did that to me, and you don't even fucking. It's like fuck.
That's
this
another
shit.
thing though. Like kids,
Very
now,
humbling.
Kids
Very
now,
humbling.
like people are getting their kids into jiu-jitsu at 6 years old rather than getting into it at 20 now.
Yeah.
So there's these kids that have been fucking doing it since they're 6. So like grabbing onto a neck's just so natural to them.
Yeah,
it's
I reckon
crazy.
That's my only excuse left now. It's like, I'm 32. I'm fucking old. You know what I mean? Like, you're young. That's why you're better.
That's not bad though. You have your black belt. Oh, and another thing about jiu-jitsu, one of the best things about jiu-jitsu or any combat sport or any sport, you'll go to Darwin, you'll walk into a jiu-jitsu gym and you have mates.
Yeah,
straight away.
So I've been going back and forth there with my job, and I've been training up there, and everyone's been really cool. So there's some odd cats in jiu-jitsu for sure. Like, it's not really my scene. It's not really my scene to talk on, so I won't say too much. But there's definitely some fucking odd cats out there, and it's very political and it gets very weird and shit. But
that's why gyms like M16 and Beachside, and that's cool because it's just like you come and train and then.
And I think that's why I fell back in love with it, because it didn't become this fucking weird thing that I had to get involved in on a personal level. And I'm just like, cool, I just train and have fun and everyone's happy.
Yeah, you got to make sure you pick the right gym because you don't want to go to a cult.
There's obviously fucking heaps.
There's a heap of fucking cults,
and I don't need any more of that shit in my life because I've, dealing with fucking day-to-day shit's enough. Like, I don't need to take jiu-jitsu dramas home with me.
At your hobby, especially when it's your hobby.
If it's your life and stuff, it is what it is. But
even that, what a fucking miserable way to live. Like, if someone trains somewhere else and tries to better themselves somewhere else, they get, like, you get dirty on them and shit like that. It's just...
And it obviously, I think it's pretty evident now that the dudes that do that are better. You know what I mean? Like the dudes
you have to cross-train.
Right? Yeah.
Like, imagine... Like, perfect example, Declan just went to B team.
Yeah.
That has, like, some of the best rollers in the fucking world there. If he never went there, he would have never known what he's going to improve on because he's just fucking steamrolling everyone here.
Yeah.
Like, you can't you got to get steamrolled a bit to fucking learn. Or else he's just going to steamroll all these people in South Australia and then he's going to go to a bigger league. Or
I think that's I don't want to ride Moody's dick for the fucking...
Nah, do it. He loves it.
For the whole podcast. But like,
he loves it.
I think that's a big thing, not just for him, but like, if you're at that level and you're that good at what you do and you realise you're at that point where you are and then you go to get beat up, that's a big judge of character, I feel like.
Fuck yeah.
Like, that's a massive thing.
Because not a lot of people
Most
do
people
that.
would accept the fact they're better than everyone else.
I would.
Yeah, I probably would too, but I can't
fuck
lie.
yeah. Easy.
I just continue murking everyone, but he's like, nah.
I want to get the shit kicked out of me.
Yeah, that's a big... And not just speaking on his behalf, but obviously you have to do that shit to progress. But that's a big judge of character.
His main training partner was fucking Nicky Rod. Have you seen that cunt? He's like 14 and he's like he's not 14, but he's like so young and he's built like a gorilla, like a baby gorilla.
Yeah. That's why the belt system's weird to me. Because I could never walk in there and be like, oh yeah, I'm a brown belt, man. Because that cunt would just go
Oh,
and then do whatever else he wanted, and it's like I'm sure he understands that as much as I do. Like when there is levels to this shit, you know what I mean?
It's crazy. There's blue belts that'll beat black people that have been black belts for 10 years.
Yeah,
because it's just the new age of jiu-jitsu and the new age of anything.
Yeah, it's like anything, you know. Battle rap was very much the same. Like
that's like the greatest battle rappers now. I don't know about rapping. See, rapping's weird because it's wordplay. Like it's
you don't lose that, do you?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like rappers today aren't better than rappers from the 2000s and 90s. Whereas if you put up an MMA fighter or an AFL player or a soccer player now,
completely different.
They're faster. They're stronger. They're bigger. They're smarter. Do you know what I mean? Like physically they're so much better, but wordplay is so weird because it hasn't changed.
Yeah, you don't have
there's not more words. Like
it's true.
It's weird.
Technology hasn't. I guess
technology hasn't fucked with rap. It can't unless you got auto-tune. That's the only other benefit. But that's like a deterrence more than anything because it makes you like not have to be as good.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, rap's like a weird. Like Shakespeare was the first OG. He would have been the OG.
Yeah, he was the man. He was the GOAT.
He was the OG.
Yeah, Shakespeare was wilding back in the day, man.
Yeah, he was good. But man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for these great northerns.
Yeah, it's just in NT spirit. I'll bring these, mate. You know.
Do you have anything you want to plug? How about the old Instagram?
Go buy a pair of Staples Sunnies.
Staples Co.
Yeah, Staples Co. on Facebook and Instagram and all that good shit.
Dunks on Spotify.
Yeah, if you want to feel like listening to some music, go listen to me on Spotify. Otherwise, man, no, I'm just out here fucking living. Gonna move, and yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. It's really fun, actually, mate. I always wanted to be on a podcast, funnily enough, because I was always on the other side of the. So I'm glad you asked me. So
it's been good, man, and I appreciate the glasses. That's such a nice fucking present, nice gesture. I wish you the best in Darwin, and
cheers,
thanks
brother.
for coming on, man.
Cheers, G.
Cheers.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.